time for the Tennessee Highway Safety Office High School Football Game of the Week. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. The Game of the Week is also brought to you in part by Delta Dental of Tennessee and Main Street Media. Now, let's go to the field and join our play-by-play hosts live from the game. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into another high school football season. Welcome into another Main Street Media Game of the Week season here on Main Street Media TV, MainStreetMediaRadio.com, and all of our MSM TV streaming platforms. Our high school football game of the week, we have descended upon Green Hill High School as the Beech Buccaneers and the Green Hill Hawks will do battle here in Mount Juliet as we kick off the 2025 high school football season. Alongside Casey Patrick, Wayne Neely saying good evening. And Casey, you could not script, number one, a more picture-perfect night for high school football, but I don't know that you could script a better matchup to start this season as we kick off 2025.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Wade. It's a beautiful night, a lot of smiling faces. I think everybody's ready to get some football in, tonight, and we've had enough time away from it. It's like you said, it is a beautiful night tonight, and it is a great matchup. I'm ready to watch two really good football teams go at it tonight. It
is going to be a fantastic evening, and we are so delighted that you guys are with us here on our Main Street Media TV and Main Street Media Radio high school football game of the week, represented all season long by our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, who reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. We're also sponsored in part by Delta Dental of Tennessee. Visit deltadentaltn.com. Our producer tonight is Mr. Mark Rogers, and again, alongside Casey Patrick, Wayne Neely saying good evening. Casey, really, as we set the stage for tonight's ball game, two teams that in some regards come into this showdown a little frustrated, a little disappointed by the way their 2024 seasons ended. Green Hill goes undefeated in the regular season. They win their region championship. They're flying high, and they stub their toe in the first round of the playoffs. Beech, meanwhile, has a fantastic season in their own right. And even though they got a little further in the playoffs, it still ends in disappointment. So kind of a retribution-type game, even though we're kicking off the season here tonight.
Yeah, you've got a lot of young men and especially their coaches, too, that are ready to get out here tonight and get a different taste in their mouth other than how last season ended. And you really do kind of feel bad for Green Hill when you look at the schedule they had last year, a really great season, and then just, like you said, stubbed their toe week one. Beech also – I guess it would be an upset last year losing to Springfield in the playoffs. So I think both teams are definitely looking for something different tonight.
It is going to be a great night for high school football. We're delighted again that you guys are with us on our Main Street Media high school football game of the week. We are live at Green Hill High School here in lovely Mount Juliet. The Beech Buccaneers are here, and the Green Hill Hawks are most certainly here. It's going to be a great night for high school football. Our first time out. When we come back, Casey and I will dive into tonight's matchup as week one comes your way in just a matter of moments here on MSM High School Football Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Welcome back, gang. Alongside Casey Patrick, Wayne Neely sitting in the saddle. It is week one of the high school football season, and on a Thursday night here in Mount Juliet, the Hawks and the Bucks are set to do battle. Casey, we kind of told the tale a moment ago. Two teams that were a little disappointed with the way last season ended. But, man, hope springs eternal, and you could not ask for a bigger matchup. There is a massive crowd here tonight. There's several other media members here. This game's on television tonight. kind of in many ways, all eyes are fixated on this location here in Mount Juliet for week 1 on the opening night of the high school season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think being a Thursday, it makes it a little bit easier for some of the folks to get out here tonight. But I'm really interested to see what happens. I think both of these teams have a lot of unknowns about their teams. Every coach in the mid-state area, I think every coach across the country would tell you right now they've got a lot of questions about their team, and they don't know a few things. So tonight you've got, and we've already said this a few times, but you've got Beech, you've got Green Hill, 2 really, really good teams, and they're going to push each other. So I think some of those questions are going to be answered tonight. A lot of those coaches may get a better idea of what they have out on the field, and I'm ready to have some of those questions of my own answered tonight as well.
Yeah, you and I, we're kind of the lucky ones. We get to sit here and we get to watch a great high school football game tonight. We get to broadcast a great game, and we get to kick off the season in style. The national anthem is set to take place. Casey and I will take a quick timeout. Once again, you are listening to Main Street Media High School Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental. Back in 1 minute.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
That is the national anthem, brought to you by the Green Hill Marching Band. Alongside Casey Patrick, producer Mark Rogers, Wayne Neely saying hello. We are live in Mount Juliet for the Main Street Media High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, who reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. Also brought to you in part by Delta Dental of Tennessee. And Casey, we mentioned the other cool aspect of this game. Yes, it's a big crowd. Yes, it's opening night. 2 really good football teams. There's some primetime talent on display as you kind of glance across both of these rosters. Not surprisingly to see a couple college commits, both that are no longer on the field after graduating. Both schools sending players on to the next level, but also both schools with some prospects coming up. That's kind of the fun part of broadcasting this 5-6A matchup here tonight.
Yeah, and one of those players that you brought up, I'm glad you said that. One of the players that I'm really interested to watch tonight, Beech quarterback Caden Powell. You talk about signees, he's signed to go to Kentucky for baseball. So super athlete, a guy that's going to be able to move with the ball in his hand, dual threat type of a quarterback. And he's also missed some time this preseason with some injuries. So I'm interested to see how he comes out of the gate. They've got Sawyer Phillips, who has looked really good in preseason. So really interested just to see how that situation kind of goes tonight. It
is going to be a epic showdown as we kick off our high school football coverage. We mentioned that Beech is on the road here tonight taking on the Green Hill Hawks. They might as well. I don't think they're going to spend the night, obviously, in Mount Juliet, Casey, but they could if they wanted to. They are right back at Mount Juliet next week. So both of these teams and both of these coaching staffs kind of buying into the discipline of, hey, let's test ourselves and let's challenge ourselves early in this 2025 slate.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got a game that's outside of your region. You're not really worried about it. So it's one of those things where I don't want to say you're not worried about it. Every coach is worried about every little thing, but these teams tonight, a win or a loss really doesn't mean much other than the actual action that you get on the field. So, again, we've talked about this, but these guys want to see what their teams are made of, and I think they're going to be able to do that tonight.
other games across the state. We'll update you guys on some scores as the night goes along. But Collinwood is in action tonight. They, speaking of long road trips, this is a short trip in the grand scheme of things compared to the one that St. George's makes going to Collinwood tonight. That's a game we'll keep our eyes on. We will also be keeping tabs on Haywood, who's at Henry County tonight. Should be a fun showdown. There are several matchups over in East Tennessee, a couple of which are already underway, and a couple in West Tennessee. And that's just kind of the appetizer, Casey, because we got a full slate of action tomorrow, and we got a couple big games on Saturday night. The TSSAA and these coaching staffs, they really kind of ease or lean into, hey, let's start the season with a bang.
Yeah, and you know, it's I think it actually gives a lot of it gives the referees the chance, you know, to make it to the game they need to make it to. So I think that's one other thing that gives a little bit of relief to the area as well. But this is just perfect. I love this. This is great. Week one, they ought to have been doing this for a few years now. You know, go ahead, get it started on Thursday, have a few days of football before college football or professional football gets started. We might as well get us a show, and I think we've got one tonight. Yeah,
it is going to be a fantastic showdown again. Beech and Green Hill are two opponents tonight. It is the Week 1 edition of the Main Street Media High School Game of the Week, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and by Delta Dental of Tennessee. Casey and I will take our final timeout. When we come back, we will be that much closer to kickoff as we creep ever so closer. We're set for a 7:07. That's when you know you're at a real big dog school, Casey. When it's not a 7 o'clock kickoff, it's 7:07 down to the minute, kind of like they do at the upper levels. So we're in prime position here tonight, but we're going to take a final timeout. And when we come back, we will get you prepped for the kick coming your way right after this here on Main Street Media High School Football Game of the Week coverage.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
They walk among us, but at 240 miles per hour, they become something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit unhinged. Buckle up. This new era of speed, this racing revolution, it's just getting started.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Miller. Main Street Media is partnering with Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix at the Nashville Superspeedway to send a family of 4 to the race August 31st. To register, please visit any Main Street Media website and look for the Register Here banner. You'll also receive some fantastic Borchetta Bourbon Music City merchandise. We look forward to seeing you at the race.
Hi, I'm Carmen at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Come see us at the Macara Spa.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen, here on Main Street Media High School Football Game of the Week coverage, presented all season long by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental of Tennessee. He's Casey Patrick. I'm Wade Neely. Producer Mark Rogers, making the magic happen. And way down in Giles County, our good friend Scott Stewart, part of Main Street Media, is tuned in as well this evening. Good evening, Scott. Also, David Wilson is on hand here tonight. It's kind of a who's who in that regard, Casey. You got you and I. We mentioned that my TV 30's here. But David is roaming the sidelines. And he called me about 2 hours before arriving at the park tonight. I think he's more excited for this game than even some of the players. And it kind of alludes to what we mentioned in our first segment. The stakes for this game, despite being a non-region game, despite being the very first game of the season, it kind of feels like a postseason type environment entering this showdown tonight.
Well, it's hard to not feel that way when you're at a place like Green Hill. I mean, you see all the folks come out. You got the student section. These kids are packed. I had to park quite a bit away, and that was an hour and a half ago. So, I mean, these folks are here. They're ready. I think everybody's ready for some football. And I don't think it would have mattered who Green Hill had tonight. This place would have been packed. But they're going to get a good football game tonight. Yeah,
Green Hill comes in, again, founded in 2020. In 2021, they did make their first playoff appearance, winning 2 games that year, actually, including a win over the Columbia Central Lions, but they did fall in their third contest. Have not tasted victory in the postseason since, bowing out in the first round in 22, 3, and 4. And as we mentioned, that one last year really stings. They went 10-1, got off to a 10-0 start, and then Blackman rolled in and roughed up the Hawks here. This was a Green Hill team last year, Casey, that averaged 32.2 points a game. They only surrendered 10 points a game. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to rally after so much of a successful season kind of falls by the wayside. But Coach Crouch and kind of his staff, they've rolled up the sleeves. They said, we're going to really put the test to our program. And they've kind of set themselves, despite I mentioned only 2 playoff wins, they kind of have treated themselves like a program. Hey, we're only a couple more seasons away from really being in the title conversation. And that's kind of almost what you have to do, it feels like, to take that next step sometimes.
Well, yeah, and they've got the right kind of players to make sure you keep that momentum going from last year. I mean, you've got you sit out here and you look at the team captains like Danian and you've got Cannon Burrows. And, of course, number 10, of course, Dylan Hawks is out there, I believe, too, as well. But you've got quite a bit of athletes on this team. You've got quite a few kids that I think they return with quite a bit of production. So I think they're going to help you, and they're going to be able to keep that momentum going from last season.
Absolutely. You mentioned the captains. Teams are getting ready to roll out in a couple moments for the coin toss. Not in uniform tonight, but he is one of the captains. Man, you would hope that they get him in uniform as soon as possible. But big Ronan McNamara, 6'1", 250. He's an offensive lineman. He's not dressed tonight. But standing alongside him are 3 other certainly capable talents. Jackson Crawford, who's a senior safety and linebacker. He's 6'2", 218. He wears number 10. We'll call his name a lot on the defensive side of the ball tonight. You mentioned Cannon Burrows a couple times. He's the senior quarterback, 6'3", 190 pounds, one of your captains. And Omezia Danian is 6'3", 220. He is kind of a headhunter at linebacker. This Green Hill team, they've got some skill players at all the right places. So I think that's what is kind of, shall I say, deserved grounds for this optimism entering 2025.
Yeah, when you sit here and you look at McNamara on the sideline right there, he is quite literally a big miss because, I mean, you named off. He is a big kid, and of course, missing on the.
He's big even without shoulder pads.
Yeah, and I meant to say that he's just a massive kid, and they're going to miss somebody like that on the offensive line. And it's a senior, a kid that can come in and lead your group. But they do have those other guys, like you said, Danian, and I like Cannon Burrows. But running back Zach Cartwright is going to get a lot of the carry. He's going to get a lot of the load tonight, and I'm interested to see how the offensive line pushes around that the Beech defensive line.
Speaking of Beech on the other side, Casey touched on it a minute ago. They had a little bit of it was a good controversy, but a little bit of a quarterback controversy entering the season as Caden Powell, who is the senior, who is a baseball commit to Kentucky, and why not, folks, 6'3", 240 pounds. A lot of folks thought, he's a senior, he's a standout player, he should maybe get the job. But it turns out that Sawyer Phillips, who's 6'4", 170-pound junior, he kind of almost forced the issue. They said he had such a great camp. He told David Wilson of Main Street Media this summer, the coaching staff that is, they couldn't keep Sawyer Phillips off the field in the times that Powell was away at baseball camps. He almost lost the job through no fault of his own. Just that's how well that Phillips was playing.
Yeah, and you can't really fault Powell either because, you got a young man that's going to Kentucky for baseball. That's a really good program, a really good college baseball program. So he's obviously not bad, So
right.
It makes sense. Go ahead and play baseball, young man. But at the same time, like you said, to no fault of his own, you got another young man, Sawyer Phillips, who if he's going out there and he's slinging it, you can't really stop that. And Beech, they may have a problem, but it's not necessarily a bad problem just yet. And I'm ready to see kind of how it works out. And there's a part of me that wonders, if Caden Powell comes out and he's a little slow, are the coaches quick to pull that trigger? Yeah, who knows? We're going to figure it out, though.
Powell last year, 68 of 108 passing for just over 1,000 yards, threw 10 touchdowns, had 2 interceptions, 21 attempts for Phillips. But again, Phillips had a big-time offseason, and so a lot of folks, to your point a moment ago, Coach Crabtree had said, don't be surprised. Just because Phillips doesn't win the starting quarterback job doesn't mean we can't play him somewhere else. And even though this is a 5A school, which, you do see specialized positions a lot more often, would not shock us to see Phillips kind of floating out there in some different capacities tonight.
And the only other thing that I think about when you bring that up is the fact that Beech lost Campbell and Harris, 2 of their top receivers from a year ago. Now they have a young man named Jared Elaster who's a quick guy, and they've got some speed out there. But it almost makes you wonder if they're not going to really commit to a run game, because they do have Shelton Crawford coming back. They do have Caden Powell, who ran for almost 1,000 yards and 15 rushing touchdowns last year. So it kind of makes me wonder if they're not going to lean into that running game. And if that doesn't work, are you going to see Sawyer Phillips? And who's he going to throw to? Again, more questions, but we're going to get them answered. I can't wait.
Yeah, like you said, Beech has got some questions and some problems, quote unquote, but they're of the good variety. They almost have too much talent. So therein lies their issue. Speaking of Beech, they do win the toss. They do elect to defer. One other name we want to make sure we mention, be on the lookout as best we can, because if you blink, you probably will miss him. Number 4, Chelton Swafford, 5'11", 194 pounds, senior running back. He ran for nearly 1,200 yards, had 17 touchdowns. Between he and Powell, that was the vast majority of the rushing attack for the Buccaneers last year. As the teams get ready and make their way through their respective banners and out onto the field, Casey and I will take a 30-second timeout. When we come back, it's time for kickoff. Main Street Media High School Game of the Week coverage comes your way right after this.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Just when you thought the action couldn't get more hype before kickoff, fireworks show, teams running out of the tunnels. It is officially high school football time here on the campus of Green Hill. The Hawks are hosting the Buccaneers alongside Casey Patrick. Wayne Neely saying hello. It is a gorgeous night for high school football here on Main Street Media. It'll be Nate Krall, a senior kicker, teeing it up on the right side hash here for the Buccaneers. Green Hill's got a couple of return men back around the goal line, around the 2-yard line. Green Hill's going to wear green uniforms, tops and bottoms, white helmets. Beech is in white tops and bottoms with navy helmets. And at 7:08, we have our whistle, and as Krall puts toe to leather, football is underway here on Main Street Media, television and radio. That ball goes 10 yards deep. It goes through the back of the end zone. No return. A touchback. And we will get our first look at that Buccaneer offense that we just mentioned, Casey. Multifaceted, a lot of talent, but they're trying to figure out some new wrinkles after losing a couple key guys from last year.
Yeah, well, and you've got Green Hill coming out here, and Cannon Burrows, of course, 13 rushing touchdowns last year. I'm really excited to see what he does with his feet. They don't have a whole lot of receiving options coming back from a year ago. Again, Zach Cartwright brought him up earlier. We're going to get the run to game today.
I mentioned the Beech offense. I meant to say Green Hill, beg pardon, folks. It's opening night jitters for yours truly. Out of the shotgun, they send a man in motion. Ball right between the two hashes. The Green Hill will throw for it on 1st and 10, and that pass is a 50-50 ball that was nearly intercepted. It was broken up. A no-fly zone in effect as Anton Wright, the 5'8 senior DB, swats that one away. Near interception on the opening play of the season.
Yeah, and really, Luke Pfeffer, I thought he made a great defensive play out there at receiver to keep that from being an interception. Running back just went in an early motion right there. I think the quarterback knew exactly where that ball was going on the first play through the deep pass, but it didn't work.
So some shaky moments to start the game here. Another man in motion as Burrows now looks to his right, and he'll throw toward that man in motion. That pass is caught in the flat, and on a full head of steam, rushing upfield and finally pushed out of bounds at around his own 45. That is a big pitch and catch there as a first down for Zach Cartwright is in effect there.
I thought you had a potential for a penalty as well, but they didn't throw the flag. A late hit there. They're lining up quick. They're going quick here.
So on 1st and 10, ball's resting on the right side hash. 15 seconds gone by in this opening quarter. Now here's a handoff to Cartwright, who is bottled up. Stretch play toward the Beach sideline, and the Bucks were flowing right toward the football. A couple of young men in the area and in on the tackle, the least of which, hard to miss, 5'10", 237-pound nose tackle, Barrett Brown, number 0 on the tackle there for a no gain.
Yeah, and on those slow stretch plays, you're going to have some blocking on the backside, or you're going to have issues with that nose tackle all day long.
So on 2nd and 10, after a 23-yard first down completion out of the backfield a moment ago, they'll go back to the air. Burrows looking, plenty of time, firing, looking for a man downfield, got him! Oh, just beyond the outstretched arms of his intended receiver. And that one was one that nearly would have been, if it had been hauled in on a perfect stride, it would have gone for 6. But Dylan Hawks had to lay out and just couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
Yeah, and the quarterback, Cannon Burrows, had plenty of time there in the pocket. You really like to see that out of the Green Hill offensive line. Dylan Hawks, who has the best name out here for a Green Hill football player, just out of reach of his fingertips.
You know, I mean, I had to double-check the roster a couple times just to make sure that wasn't some sort of gag the coaches were running on us. Clock is stopped with 1 minute exactly gone by. This is a big 3rd and 10. First third down of the night. Burrows, plenty of time yet again. He steps up in the pocket, still extending the play. He goes back to Hawks, and that time it is hauled in at the opposing 40. A pickup of 17 yards. That is a massive completion. Downfield to Hawks. Great job of extending the play there by Burrows.
And he made it look easy, too. He just stepped out of the pocket, evaded the pressure. He was able to throw the ball on the run, hit the guy wide open. About a 15-yard gain. Continue this drive.
Just north of the 40. They spotted officially at the 41. Green Hill's got it on their own left side hash here toward their sideline. Thought about a man in motion, and now they thought about a handoff, and now instead it's Burrows calling his own number on the quarterback keeper. Finally upended, but not before a massive gain downfield. Devin Crutcher, the junior, finally slows down the quarterback, Burrows, who picks up another first down. This offense kind of humming right now.
Well, I wonder how often that's going to be open all night long. You know the defense is looking for Zach Cartwright. Burrows just pulls it, and he gets 12 to the left. A pretty easy gain. He didn't really get hit till he got after about 10, 11 yards.
2 minutes gone by in this opening quarter. Green Hill's marching, started at their opening 20. Trio of men in motion toward the right. Burrows looks very comfortable in the backfield calling the shots here. Cannon Burrows, the senior quarterback. He now runs a little shuffle pass. A little trickeration there from the Hawks. And that one is caught by Luke Partine, who is a 6'1", 210 tight end.
A whole lot of nothing going on there. You had the orbital motion and then the play action to the front and all that just to pitch it to the tight end right up front. I mean, he only got 5 there, and I say only because it didn't look like he got that much, but that's an easy 5 yards again for Green Hill. They're just moving the ball right up the field.
Burrows now 3 of 5 passing on this drive. 2nd and 5. Driving toward the north end zone here. And play fake. Easy pitch and catch over the middle. There's Hawks. He's brought down at the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. A pickup of about 17 yards. Man, this offense is just humming right now.
Yeah, and Burrows is doing a good job of getting the ball out quick, which is what he's going to have to do, because the only way I see Beech really stopping the offense right now is if they can get some penetration on the defensive line. And, Burrows getting rid of that ball so early is making it really hard for Beech to do anything to stop him.
Now 4 of 6 passing. First and goal, 8:41 to go. We're in the opening quarter. This is the opening drive of the ball game. Green Hill trying to punch it in on this opening possession. First and goal again from the 5. They snap it from the left hash. Deep handoff. Full head of steam and bruising into the end zone. A touchdown for 5'11", 205-pound bruiser Nathaniel Brogdon. 8:26 remaining in the opening quarter. A brilliant first drive there for the Green Hill Hawks.
Yeah, and that was fun because they went all the way down the field in shotgun. They get in there inside the 5. They get under center, and they just plow the ball right through the middle. It felt kind of like new school all the way till you get up there and then just pound the rock. And this is a funky formation as well for the extra point. I'm assuming they're going to go back into regular formation, but, yeah, here we go.
You said it. Kind of went very new school concepts on the, first 8 plays of the drive, and on the 9th play they just went throwback, and Brogdon just bruises his way up the middle. And our first penalty flag comes on the extra point attempt here. Was that a legal substitution on the Hawks? Kind of maybe not surprising considering the formation you just mentioned they were lined up. They had guys everywhere trying to trick Beech into lining up.
Well, and number 3 looked like he came from the number 3 Dylan Hawks looked like he came from the parking lot. He came running as fast as he could to catch up.
So they'll back up the PAT attempt. Caden Chandler is the kicker, listed kicker, 5'11", 165-pound junior. And that kick is up, and that kick is good. 8:26 remaining. Great opening drive for Green Hill. They lead at 7-0. Casey and I are back right after this. You're listening to Main Street Media high school football coverage brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental of Tennessee.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25-plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Welcome back, folks. Alongside Casey Patrick, Wade Neely saying hello. Casey, outstanding drive for Green Hill. They go 80 yards in 9 plays on a drive that chews up 334. Brogdon bruising one in on the touchdown from 5 yards out. 7-0 your score. Outstanding start to this game for the host Green Hill Hawks.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, it was they got all the way down there, and then it was some old school smash mouth football. Fun to watch there at the end.
Did have a penalty on the PAT, but Caden Chandler booted it right on through.
I'd have been good from 35.
Yeah, he had plenty of leg there. We'll get to see him boot it once more. First chance for the Buccaneers. This is a short kick. It'll be fielded at around the 15. And a big crease up the middle. Look at the ball nearly popped loose at the end of that play, but a brilliant return right there. That is Chelton Swafford. Standout running back, elite playmaking ability, and he returns it again from the 15 out to around the 40. 39 is where they officially spot it, and this Buccaneer offense trailing 7-0 with 8:20 to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, I thought Swafford had a little bit of space there to really cut it open and maybe even find 6, but they hunted him down before he got to midfield.
Ball right between the two hashes here. Beech driving left to right on your radio dial. They send a couple men in motion, heavy toward the right now. And they do snap, they do turn, they do hand. Would not be surprised if we get a heavy dose of Swofford, who surges upfield for about 3.5 yards on the opening play for the Buccaneers.
I hate to assume anything, but if I had to guess, I think that Beech is probably going to slow it down, probably going to try and run it quite a bit tonight.
You might just be right in that assumption, my friend.
Well, you got 2,000 rushing yards between the two guys in the backfield. I don't believe I'd do anything different.
They can throw, they will throw, but don't necessarily like to throw. And right on cue, here is a designed quarterback keeper over the left side. Kind of a QB power look there as Caden Powell, again, a Kentucky baseball signee, he bruises his way just shy of the first down marker, though, so we have an early third down on this drive, 3rd and 2.
Yeah, and there's no real scheme there. Like you said, quarterback power to the left over the left tackle. This crowd's getting rowdy now for a 3rd down and short. This is fun. I'm so happy football's back. This is great.
This is as good as it gets, folks, and it's only week 1. 7:13 in the opening quarter. This is a massive 3rd down. Motion from both teams. And a handoff and maybe a second effort stretching for D.K. Williams, who is one of the team's top defensive players. But he's a great rusher as well. And no, they say he's just shy. Williams.
Oh, no, they're going to give it to him.
They do give it. They correct.
Wow.
One official signaled inches, and then the other official says, nope, he got it. Not even close enough for a measurement, apparently. So a nose of the football 1st down, and a much-needed 1st down for the Bucs to keep this drive alive.
And D.K. Williams is going to stay out there, too. I think he's going to be their short yardage back.
First down of the night. First throw of the night upcoming on 1st and 10. Pocket breaking down. Quarterback going down. Powell hog-tied in the backfield and wrapped up a host of Hawks. But Hayden Kennedy, the 6'1", senior linebacker, was there to finish him off. It's a loss of about 12 yards. And this Green Hill defense swarming to the football right there. I mentioned that it was Kennedy in on the tackle, but it was kind of set up by big Luka Nash in the middle as well, the nose tackle. Great defensive pressure up front.
Yeah, and Caden Powell getting hit back there, that's not a good thing for him. Of course, we talked about the injury issues.
2nd and 22 now after the sack. And they'll give designed handoff out of the backfield. Going nowhere. This Green Hill defense is flowing downhill. And stopped in the backfield is Swofford. He'll lose a couple. And it is another 3rd down, and this one is a much longer 3rd down. 3rd and about 23, I think, after they officially mark this here.
It looks like a 1/4 mile from here.
Yep.
And the way that Green Hill defensive line's been dominating the last few plays, it probably feels a little bit longer than that to the Beech offense as well.
Huge 3rd down. 3rd and 26, they mark it. Green Hill leads 7-0, trying to get its defense off the field.
We've got a timeout on the field.
Yep, and one of the coaching staffs wants to talk it over. Coach Crouch is fired up. The head coach of the Green Hill Hawks.
The referees had to back him off.
Yeah, they said, hey, slow down, young buck, as he was getting fired up, getting this crowd at a fever pitch. Casey and I will collect our thoughts as well. We got a big 3rd down upcoming after this timeout. You are listening and watching the high school football game of the week here on Main Street Media, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental of Tennessee.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25-plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Third down here. And this Green Hill crowd is electric. Their Hawks scored in short order on the opening drive offensively. They forced a 3rd and 26 here out of the timeout. 6th play of the drive. Beech converted a massive 3rd and short. Let's see what they draw up on 3rd and very long. Send a man in motion. They play fake. Now they're going to hand to a second back, and Swafford gets back to the original line of scrimmage and then some, and there's a late penalty that came in. Jackson Sumner, the senior linebacker, was in on the tackle, and if that is a late hit variety, that would give a first down, and that would also probably be against Sumner, who did flow to the football well. But let's check the marker here. Early key penalty in this big showdown. And we do see a personal foul, and it is against the Hawks. 4:54 to go in this opening quarter. 3rd and 26. Beech kind of plays it safe with the draw in some regards. They get back to the original line of scrimmage, and then the late hit gives them a first down. This ball is going to move all the way out to the Green Hill 33.
When they were in bad shape, they had to do something like a draw play to get out of trouble there, and ended up getting the penalty to get in good shape here to keep the offense going.
Massive play. And now with new life, Green Hill still flowing to the football. They give toward the left side. And on that far side, tough to see.
Legit sweep for Jeremy Laster right there.
Thank you. Laster was going toward that direction. Then got swallowed up on that sideline. Picking up about 5 yards, though. Again, Beech converted a 3rd and 2 by the nose of the football. And then converted a 3rd and 26 by virtue of the penalty. 8th play of this drive. 4:35 to go here in this opening quarter. Quarterback keeper. Everything was flowing to the left. And Powell tucks and runs to the right. He's going to be shy of the line, by the line to gain. And a little shorter, or a little further than I thought. It's going to set up about 3rd and a long 2 here. Ball going to be resting on that far hash.
You got to think Powell's going to call his own number again, though. He's got a big body. He got 3rd and short here. This is definitely two-play territory here unless Beech wants to kick a field goal. But I'm pretty confident myself in Powell getting 3 yards here.
Yeah, well, you got tons of options. Casey and I opened the broadcast by saying Beech has some really explosive talent. It's hard to pin down who they're going to go with. They fake to one. They hand to the other. And Swafford gets the carry.
He's right at the line to gain again.
And just like Casey predicted, you're probably in 4-down territory here. They're going to be just shy. And let's see what Coach Anthony Crabtree in his 21st season elects to do here.
Oh, they're actually going to measure it this time.
They will measure this go around. This appears a little – this appears more clearly short than the one that was ruled a first down where no measurement was brought out earlier.
You're absolutely right. I think it's first game jitters for the referees as well. They just called that one a first down earlier, I think. But this one looks to be, of course, I'm about a mile and a half away, but it looks to be about 6 inches short.
It is a long measurement.
It's close, though. Lord have mercy.
A little closer than maybe we thought. Again, by about a nose of the football. Fourth and inches. 3:28 to go. Beech is knocking on the doorstep here. Green Hill went marching down the field. 9-play drive in just over 3 minutes to take the 7-0 lead. Beech had to convert a 3rd and 26 by virtue of a long run and a penalty, but they did convert. Now they find themselves 4th and short, and the offense stays on the field.
I could see this being a big play. Green Hill's going to sell out for the defense, or sell out for the run.
Massive play early in this ball game. Under center. They turn, hand off, and I think forward progress will give enough for the first down, but it was a little closer than you might initially think.
Yeah, they lined up in that long I with 3 guys in the backfield. They only got a yard, it looks like, but that was all they needed.
Green Hill crowd were situated right in the thick of them. They were hoping for their defense to maybe come up with a stop, but we play on. 3 minutes to go in this opening quarter. You're listening to Main Street Media Game of the Week coverage here on the campus of Green Hill. 6A Hawks, 5A Bucks. Turn, give, little buck sweep of sorts to the left, and that is back to the well of DK Williams. We talked about the talent and kind of the embarrassment of riches that these two schools have offensively. Williams, an elite linebacker, but being able to line him up as your kind of backup tailback, that is a massive luxury for Coach Crabtree and his staff.
Yeah, we've got a little sideline warning here on Green Hill, which is, you kind of expect that on week one. But, DK Williams there, he had an open hole to the left. Powell handed that ball off and had his hands in the air. He thought it was a touchdown already, but Williams tackled down at the 15.
Clock is running here. 2:25 to go. Beech is driving left to right. White tops, white bottoms for the Bucks with their navy helmets. Green Hill's clad in green and white. Green unis, white helmets. They stay in the I formation on a second and a long 3. And a little option here. And no one picks up the quarterback. Or did I get deceived? If that was a give to the up man, Crutcher, they fooled me, and I think it was. Brilliant job of Powell by selling the option there, but it was a give up the middle to Devin Crutcher, 5'7", 186-pound junior. And he picks up the first down, first and goal from the 5.
It looked like that old Texas wing tee. You didn't know who had the ball, and sure enough, Crutcher just took off the field and got him a first down.
So Green Hill scored on first and goal from the 5. Can Beech answer? It's going to be close. Not on this play, I don't think. Brought down just shy. And Beech is motioning like they want to hurry up and get the offense right back to it.
Yeah, Swafford wants that ball back. He knows he can get in that end zone. They've pushed Green Hill down to the 1 yard line now. So Swafford, like I said, he wants that ball back.
Second and goal from the 1. Ball's on the far side hash. Under center. And a give to Swafford. Yeah, he's in. Shelton Swafford, 5'11", 194 pounds. We mentioned 17 rushing touchdowns a year ago. He plows in for the first one of the 2025 season. And that was a massive response on this drive. And it all goes back to that 3rd and 26, Casey. Defense did not give up the first down, but the late hit on the penalty did produce the first, and that allowed Beech to continue its drive and eventually score. We are an extra point away from being tied at 7-7. Left-footed kick is up and good. That's Thomas Mendoza. Crawl is your place kicker, but Mendoza is your extra point taker, as it were. And his left-footed boot is up, and it is pure. So we are knotted, folks. 7-7 is your tally. Casey and I are back for the final 145 on the opening quarter of the opening night of Main Street Media's Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental of TN.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Back with you guys alongside Casey Patrick, Wayne Neely saying hello. Our producer tonight, Mark Rogers. 7-7, your new score. This kick goes into the end zone. 2 drives that produce touchdowns, Casey, but kind of 2 different strokes there. Green Hill goes 80 yards in 9 plays. Beech only had to go 61 yards, but it took them 14 plays. Kind of a throwback drive there from the Bucks. A lot of it on the ground and pound variety there, but they do get in the end zone after the 1 yard rushing tote from Shelton Swafford, and this is a 7-7 ball game.
Yeah, and at first, Beech, I think they were kind of getting whooped up there on the offensive line, and as you saw that drive go down, they were able to get into that triple I formation there and able to get the run game going.
From the 20, yet again, Green Hill going to throw yet again, maybe not. After all of the time they had on the opening drive, still had plenty of time on this 1st and 10, but Wyatt Davis eventually got home with the pressure And he wraps up Green Hill and tosses quarterback Cannon Burrows to the turf. Big sack there, 2nd and 17. Now Beech playing with a little momentum.
Yeah, and Haston Wolf out there at left tackle kind of put out on an island. But like you said, Wyatt Davis able to get back there and get that sack. They may need to get Wolf some help on that left tackle spot. That looks like Beech may be going after him.
First real backwards play of the night for Green Hill as they go a little conservative and greeted and seated rather, as Zach Cartwright had a decent-sized hole to begin, but it closed rather quickly, and he's dropped after a minimal gain, just 2 on the pickup. So we now have a 3rd and 15 here for the Hawks.
Yeah, and, maybe Beech was just a little nervous there at the start. That defense starting to wake up. Of course, we saw the offense start to wake up after that penalty. So we might be in for that game that we were thinking about, before we started.
7-7 is your score. Green Hill is going to have to snap it at least one more time. Play clock's down to 20. Game clock's at 29, and both are rolling. It's a massive 3rd down, 3rd and 15. Out of the gun. Burrows surveying. Plenty of time. He goes. Safety valve and incomplete. Cartwright was about 7 yards downfield, and Burrows leads him just a little bit too far. He would have been well short of the 1st down anyway. And a punting situation here. Massive stand for Beech, who didn't look dead. But, man, 3rd and 26 and trailing 7-0, they have picked themselves up off the mat, forcing a punt, tied at 7 here.
Yeah, and that was the right play by Burrows. I know a lot of the folks here in the stand want to see him rip that thing, but defense was set up for him. Oh, Lord.
Not the greatest punt you've ever seen, and it bounces.
Oh, ball.
Dangerous pickup, and the ball pops free. The ball pops free, and Green Hill has pounced on it. In the blink of an eye, the tables have turned. It was an ugly punt. It was a dangerous pickup, though, by Jeremy Laster. And as Laster scoops it off the ground, as many as 3 players swarm to the football, and it pops free, and Green Hill recovers. They are right back in business, folks, offensively at their own 46.
Yeah, I think Carter Faust is the punter there, and that was not his best punt. It didn't get 10 foot off the ground, but Jeremy Austin trying to make a play, and I don't know if he ever really got his hands on it. Just a fumble, and Green Hill takes back over.
Last play of the 1st quarter, barring something crazy happening, and Green Hill right back to work, this time on the ground, though. Cartwright churning his way just beyond midfield, out to the opposing 48. That's a good little pickup there. And that is how the 1st quarter comes to a close. Great ball game here tonight. 7-7 is your score. We reach the end of the 1st quarter. Casey and I will return with quarter number 2. Green Hill's got the ball, looking to retake the lead here. When we come back, you're watching and listening to the Main Street Media High School Football Game of the Week, where we are presented all season long by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental.
They walk among us, but at 240 miles per hour, they become something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit unhinged. Buckle up. This new era of speed, this racing revolution, it's just getting started.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Miller. Main Street Media is partnering with Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix at the Nashville Superspeedway to send a family of 4 to the race August 31st. To register, please visit any Main Street Media website and look for the Register Here banner. You'll also receive some fantastic Borchetta Bourbon Music City merchandise. We look forward to seeing you at the race.
Welcome back, folks. What a 1st quarter it was. 7-7 is your tally. Green Hill striking first on a 9-play, 80-yard drive. Beech responding, 61 yards, 14 plays. Beech forces a 3rd and long, forces a punt, but they fumble the punt, and the ball is recovered by Green Hill just shy of midfield. And a little rush to end the 1st quarter has them beyond midfield, Casey Patrick. And 2nd and 4, For a game there's only been, this is the third possession total. Feels like there's been some definite momentum swings here for both teams throughout the night thus far.
Yeah, and so far it feels like Beech is doing the best they can just to stay alive. There's a lot of responding by Beech. It's mistakes here and there by the Buccaneers, but they've been able to keep themselves afloat. Right now, Beech is kind of driving middle of the field. They took over after that fumbled punt, but I like the way Beech has answered all of the challenges that they've been met with so far. In this second quarter, again, you're going to get 12 more minutes here to see how they respond to that fumbled punt.
After a little bit of a build-up here, finally ready for play. 7-7 your score. Green Hill, again, 5th season of high school football. As finally we're ready for play. Could have did a 2-minute timeout there, and they give up the middle. We got a brand new ball carrier. The Hawks, excuse me, that's Brogdon. Misread the 2 there, but that was Nathaniel Brogdon, who had the touchdown for the Hawks on short yardage earlier. This kid is a bulldozer in the backfield.
Yeah, and this is perfect for Green Hill, especially if you can keep Cartwright healthy and keep him fresh. You're going to have a close game here a later part of it. So get Brogdon some time here. Oh, almost had a problem.
In the slot, though, they end up with Hawks. And again, Dylan Hawks, as Casey pointed out in the first quarter, elite name for, well, the Green Hill Hawks. But it was Dylan picking up 6 there.
When they're lucky that wasn't a problem, because Burrows kind of just threw the touch pass real quick to Hawks, and Brogdon almost ran into him trying to go block for him. So lucky for Green Hill to get away with any yards there, really.
Green Hill slow to get to the line here, taking plenty of time on this play clock. They're down to 10 seconds remaining. Five of 8 now passing is Burrows. And he takes a little bit of a high snap.
Ooh.
Oh, my, calls his own number. He is walloped at the end of that play. Clean tackle. A touch high for some of the Green Hill faithfuls' liking, but it was just enough for the first down. And Burrows keeps the drive alive. Green Hill continues marching here. 10:34 to go till halftime. 7-7 is your score on Main Street Media Game of the Week coverage.
Yeah, somebody got Burrows there low. Somebody got him high, but it was a clean tackle. But I think the Green Hill fans were looking for a few extra yards there.
Out of the shotgun. Ball resting toward the left hash. Go Cartwright in the backfield. He's initially bottled up, somehow wiggling and staying on his feet. Looked like he was going to be dropped for no gain, but he kind of eluded defenders left and right and then finally slices upfield to the tune of about 4 yards. Nice pickup.
Yeah, Cartwright was really slippery right there, which, Beech hadn't really had a whole lot of issues with tackling so far today, but right there, Cartwright doing a really good job of finding some open space, making open space, and going to get some yards.
9:45 to go. Hawks are on the move. They had a brilliant first drive. Again, 9 plays, 80 yards. Second drive ended in a punt. They forced the fumble on the punt. Kind of a sketchy recovery there by the Bucks. They end up fumbling. And Green Hill, they've been very deliberate on this drive and a little too deliberate here. They have to burn a timeout. Want to talk things over and make sure they get this play call right. We're going to step aside for a timeout as well. There's 9:27 to go. We're in quarter number 2. 7-7 is your score alongside Casey Patrick. Wade Neely kicking it to a break on Main Street Media's Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Welcome back, gang. Opening night of the high school football season here in the state of Tennessee. Casey, you and I will be on the road tomorrow. No headsets for us tomorrow. We'll have to trade them in for pads and cameras as we hit our respective beats tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm going to try to stay close to home. I've got a Creekwood Forest matchup, but I think you're going to go get Harpeth for me, aren't you?
Yeah, going to Harpeth. Should be a fun showdown as they take on Hickman County. Two brand new head coaching staffs, or new coaching staffs, I should say. Green Hill right back to work out of the timeout. Green Hill's offense is so unique. Casey described it on that opening drive. They do a lot of these new age concepts, but then sometimes they just wind back the clock. They send everybody out in motion, and that time it was Burrows just taking his own snap, and the quarterback keeps it to the tune of about 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Well, and I'm not a coach, I'm not a play caller, but I love all that. They call it eye candy. I love that eye candy. You got guys going in motion, going all the way all over the place. And the defense, they get their eyes on that. Next thing you know, you can get somebody open kind of over the middle and get you a few yards.
Big 3rd and 1. Presumably the Hawks would go for it. Let's see how aggressive they get, though, on 3rd and short. Not too aggressive, but they don't need. Oh, my, Cartwright. Again, Zach Cartwright. This kid is electric. The junior speedster, but he runs right into the teeth of the Bucks, and it's a 1st down, picking up about 7 yards, and the Hawks go quickly. A little too quickly.
Yeah, they did.
False start there before they can get that one snapped.
And Cartwright at 5'10", 180. I mean, he's banging heads in there, isn't he? I mean, he's putting his helmet down and getting some space.
Yeah, he's very elusive, but as you mentioned, he's not afraid to get right there in the middle. 5-yard penalty will back it up. 3rd penalty of the night against the Hawks.
I love going fast when you get the opportunity to get down there and get your offense going fast, maybe mess with the defense, but messed with the offense on that one. Had the tight end and the right guard going in motion too quickly.
7-7's your score. Green Hill trying to retake the lead. 8:15 to go, 2nd quarter. Quick dump over toward the right. That pass is completed. Hauled in by Luke Pfeiffer, senior wideout. Burrows has done a great job of getting it in the hands of different receivers, and Pfeiffer making that grab on the far sideline and picks up, waiting to see the official spot here, but it looked like he picked up at least 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, and those screens on the other side of the field, you don't see those a lot in high school football just because quarterbacks don't usually have the arm to get it there, but Burrows with a nice play to get it out into open space for one of his guys.
And the sticks never moved. They actually marked it no gain. Right now they finally readjust there. This is a gain of about 3 or 4. And then now we have a little stretch play toward the sideline. Green Hill picks up a couple more yards. It'll be 3rd down. Can Beech come up with a red zone stop here?
Well, and I'm interested to see what happens on 4th down if we have one. Of course, right now we're looking at 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 maybe. So kind of long. You probably kick a field goal here, but you get a few yards and it kind of brings up the question.
Massive play here, 3rd and 7. Can the Hawks retake the lead? Hot to the tight end, wide open. Luke Partine, 2nd grab of the night, and that one goes for 6. They play fake to Cartwright in the backfield, and a little hot over the middle to the tight end to the tune of an 11-yard touchdown. That is a massive drive there for the Hawks, gifted to them on the fumble on the punt. And Green Hill cashes in to retake the lead. 13-7 is your new score.
Well, that's what that play action does. You run the ball all the way down the field. Cartwright's running through people. You know, as soon as you go with that play action right there, it kind of pulls those linebackers in. Partine could have walked to the parking lot if he wanted to.
Extra point. And a little more conventional formation here. They got right down to business, and that one is up, and that one is good. Great answer there. Momentum back with Green Hill. They lead at 14-7. Casey and I return right after this. Beech with the football when we come back on the Main Street Media Game of the Week, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver, or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Welcome back, folks. You are listening to the high school football game of the week here on Main Street Media Radio, Main Street Preps, Main Street Media TV, anywhere you find our Main Street Media properties. We're bringing you tonight's ball game, brought to you by Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental. He's Casey Patrick. I'm Wade Neely. Beech and Green Hill are our two foes tonight. And, Casey, this game has been as good as advertised. Green Hill strikes first. Beech responds, but then a muffed punt or a fumbled punt gives Green Hill a new opportunity, and the Hawks answer. They've now scored 2 touchdowns in their 3 drives. That particular drive, 10 plays, 54 yards, just over 5 minutes. Beech will now have to try and respond and tie this game once more with Green Hill up 14-7.
Yeah, and, honestly, coming into the game, which I'd already said this a few times, but these coaches had a lot of questions about their team. I don't really know, as much as I'd like to know about their teams, and we're all learning right now. But I tell you, I was thinking about this earlier. Whenever Green Hill walked down the field for that first score, I believe I'd be happy with a shootout. I don't know how you feel, Wade, but if these teams want to light up the scoreboard, it's not going to bother me at all.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, let's test the wattage on the light bulbs here on the scoreboard. This has been a fun contest, though. Again, about as good of a game as you will find certainly in the mid-state. We will give you guys some scores of interest across the state of Tennessee coming up at halftime. David Wilson, part of our Main Street Media sports team, he's hopefully going to join us at the break as well. This is a much shallower kick, and Beech will have a second return. They had about a 25-yard return on their opening kickoff attempt earlier tonight. This one is a little bit shallower. Good job by the special teams unit flying to the football, and it'll be a long drive here if Beech is going to try and respond. They trail 14-7 with 6:47 to go in the second quarter.
Well, I said this earlier, but it's just been Beech responding a lot, and that's what this drive is going to have to be, starting kind of deep at their own 20. So, again, I'm interested to see Caden Powell get out here, run this offense. There's a part of me that wants to see what Sawyer Phillips would look like, and I may have just got what I wanted. Sawyer Phillips in at quarterback. Look at there.
A little rotation here. We said both QBs might play tonight, and Phillips fakes to a man in motion, now turns and gives to his really talented speedster tailback, Chelton Swafford. Swafford knifing right up the middle of the Green Hill defense to the tune of about 6 yards.
Yeah, and Sawyer Phillips, I mean, you can tell he's obviously a much different-looking quarterback. He doesn't have the size that Powell has. Powell's going to put his shoulder down and run through people. But Sawyer's tall. I'm ready to see his arm. I want to see him sling one here, and we've got some one-on-one coverage on the outside. Might have it.
There is a pitch. There is a catch. And caught at around the 32, and still on his feet, out across the 40. That's a good-looking grab, and turning on the Jets was Jeremy Laster, making amends for his fumble on the kickoff, or excuse me, on the punt attempt earlier. Fielded a low punt, was brought down immediately and fumbled in the process, but he hauls that one in. And the Sawdog, Sawyer Phillips, with an early completion there to start this drive.
Yeah, just a quick pitch and catch out on the screen out down here on the bottom side of the field.
1st and 10, ball's out to the 41. A insanely high snap. Phillips climbs the ladder to bring it down and somehow gets the handoff off. That is a crazy play that's going to yield about 9 yards. That could have been disastrous, but Phillips, I mean, he really climbed the ladder there to keep that one. Almost had to tip it to himself. And then kudos to his entire offense for sticking with it. turns around, hands it off to Swafford, who picks up 9.5. No, they say 10 yards, just enough for the first down.
They're going to give him a first down on another sideline warning down here on Green Hill. That's the second one of the game. But I'm glad you brought that up. Sawyer Phillips, I mean, that was a heck of a play. Young man comes in cold. I mean, he ain't played yet tonight, and he's able to kind of bring that really high snap down and save this drive.
Beech is driving right to left. 5:49 remaining till halftime. Green Hill leads 14-7. Green Hill stretching this play out. Green Hill's fighting for the football. Standing up the ball carrier and trying to rip it out. Jackson Crawford, the senior safety, was in the mix there on the tackle. Also, Amazia Danian. I hope I'm getting that name right, but Danian reaches in also and tries to strip the football. They don't get the strip, but they do get the stop. It'll be 2nd and 10, no gain on the run.
Well, it was a really slow outside zone play to D.K. Williams, who, I mean, he's been good all night long, but just nowhere to go on that one. Really slow developing play.
We've seen was with some great success running the ball. Beech, incomplete. Phillips rolling. Had a man in the flat right there. In and out of the hands of Caden Campbell, the junior. Campbell maybe tried to turn and cut up field before he secured possession, and now it's 3rd down after the incompletion.
They had a really nice play set up right there. I like the play that Beech had. They had 2 other receivers. I didn't get their numbers, but 2 other receivers out on the play in front of him there. If he just makes that play, he's got all kinds of space and blockers in front of him. Sawyer Phillips been really good so far since he's come in.
He looks comfortable coming in off the bench. Again, rotating quarterbacks at times. And Beech has got a lot of momentum, momentum. The offensive line jumped. A couple players in the backfield jumped. Green Hill is up and at 'em, folks. The big nose tackle, I mentioned his name earlier, Luca Nash. This kid is a load up the middle, and he is jacked up, forcing the false start. It is 3rd and 15. Beech, on their opening drive, converted a 3rd and 23 after about a 14-yard rush and then a late hit penalty.
Yeah, Luca Nash is getting into it down there running circles around right now.
For a big kid, he is fired up. 3rd and 15. Massive play. Play fake as Phillips is going to roll to his right. Now he's coming back to his left.
Oh, no.
Eludes a tackle. Fires downfield. The pass in and out of the hands of the receiver. Maybe intercepted. If it's not intercepted, it's incomplete, and it'll be 4th down in a punting situation, and now it is finally ruled incomplete. A crazy play. Phillips rolling to his right, has to trickle to his left, nearly sacked, floats one downfield, bounces off the chest of his intended receiver, and then a diving DB nearly made an interception. I hope I got that all right, folks. It was a crazy play that is just going to go down in the books as an incomplete pass.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw what it was. Sawyer Phillips really with a nice play there to run away, get away from the pressure. He got the ball off, somehow got it into a Beech receiver's hands down here, but ball was popped up. I could have swore I thought Gabe Euler came away with the pick there, but they called it incomplete on the field. But what a play by Gabe, jumping up trying to get that loose ball. He almost had another turnover for this Green Hill team.
Absolutely, and that could have been we'll have to wait and see, obviously, what happens here on 4th down. The ball's at Beech's own 46, so you would assume a punt is coming, depending on the kind of punt we get. That could be a potential big flip in field position because an interception would have occurred right around the 50. We got 4:47 left to go in the half, so a 50-yard field would be pretty nice for the Hawks here to maybe push this lead to 2 scores for the first time. But let's check the punt.
Beech has defensive back Brock Miller into punt.
He calls for it.
Oh, yeah, he can punt.
And he gets a long run into it.
Oh!
And that is a massive collision. No fair catch called for. And a big open field tackle.
I was looking at Will Butler making that play. I'm surprised he held on to the ball.
I think it was Christian Reed who came flying downfield. About as perfectly timed of a tackle as you will ever see. And kudos to Butler for hanging on to the football because he absorbed a massive shot there. Casey, I got to ask you now. Green Hill with the ball at their own 21. They do have to kick to start the second half. 4:39 to go till halftime. The age-old question, how conservative are you? What kind of offense do you try and trot out here to try and maybe put some more points on the board?
Well, I mean, Green Hill's been really I think they've been aggressive all night long. I think they're going to push the ball here. I think they're going to try and get down the field. And since the Hawks do have to kick the ball away to start the second half, I'm sure they'd like to go down here and have a little bit of a lead, go down here and get at least maybe a 10-point lead. But, of course, they want a 2-touchdown lead. So I think they're going to be aggressive. I think they're going to push the ball. And you only got 4.5 minutes here, which seems like a lot for high school football, but it can start running down pretty quickly.
4:39 from their own 21. Only got one timeout remaining.
This could be a huge momentum swing, too, here, because if Beech gets a good stop here, maybe get a field goal or maybe a score of their own before half, they can double up. They get the ball to start the second half. This whole thing could turn on its head within the next, 16 minutes of game time.
Green Hill looked fantastic on their opening drive. And, again, had Beech pinned back third and 23. You're thinking, okay, they really have this game wrapped up or the momentum firmly on their side. But then a penalty, extending the drive, touchdown 7-7. You're thinking, okay, game on, but then Green Hill responds, cashing in off a cheap turnover on a botched punt. And cashing in to put it up 14-7, and with 4:39 to go till halftime, it will be interesting to see how aggressive we get.
I almost made a joke about a TV timeout, but I forgot we do have TV here tonight, and that's probably what we're waiting on.
I was going to say we.
Oh yeah, there we go.
We even got the red hat in the house, man.
Yeah, he's swinging the hand around. It's time to go.
It is officially time as we get rolling here.
I think White Hat's got the best job tonight. He gets to be out there. He gets to be as close as anybody to the action. That's got to be a fun job.
Any job on a night like tonight would be fantastic. You and I, being in the press box is nice, but
we're living
on a
dream.
night like tonight, it is a perfect evening to be outdoors.
Oh, yeah,
4:39 to go as we finally begin this drive. And 1st and 10, Green Hill goes to the air, and they go right back to the tight end. And Parton hauls it in. Needed 10, got about 11, maybe 12 there. That tight end route has been open in a number of different areas tonight. Big first down.
Yeah, Parton listed at 6'1", 210. He looks a little bit bigger than that running the ball.
7 of 10 passing now for Burrows, who calls his own number rushing here.
And when you can give 5, I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, that's an easy 5 yards for Green Hill right there. Just keeping, staying ahead of the chains, keeping the offense rolling.
Continuing along here, 3:50 to go. And for Green Hill, in a perfect world, I'll get back to that in a second. 2nd and 5, they go to Cartwright. He stretches out to his right, waits on a hole patiently, and then zooms upfield for 6 yards and a new first down. 3:42 to go as the Hawks are approaching midfield. In a perfect world, you score with very little time left, and Green Hill is kind of right on track for that, just shy of the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and I really like that play, that last play they ran. They had trips down here on the bottom and ran another slow outside zone. Cartwright gets behind him and picks up yards. Oh, no.
A little bit of a high snap, and Burrows was completely out of sorts there. Tried to flip one, a little swing pass, a little wheel route almost. 2 different players on the wrong message there as that pass is incomplete.
I'm not sure if Burrows.
Fortunate that was not picked off.
Absolutely. I think there's a part of me that thinks he tried to hold on to it because he saw the defender, and that's why it was so far off of where he was throwing it. But, again, lucky for Green Hill to keep the ball right there. That was just a weird-looking play.
7 of 11 passing now is Burrows. Clock stops with 3:18 to go. Again, the ball's at the 46, just shy of midfield. Right back to work to the tight end. And Parton, man, this play fake in the backfield and then a hot to the tight end. Parton is there all night.
Yeah, and honestly, it's going to be there because Beech has 4 down linemen. They've got 2 linebackers. They got 6 guys in the blocks. You're not going to be able to guard the tight end over the back of the linebacker there. Oh.
Little flea flicker of sorts here and loading up Burrows. Man, wide open. Overshot him by about 10 yards. Luke Pfeiffer was my old broadcast colleague, Chris Bledsoe. Where you at, partner? He would say open as a gate. And unfortunately, Burrows saw how open he was and threw it about 60 yards when he needed to throw it about 50.
And to be fair, Hunter Smith, the Beech defensive lineman, was burrowing in there on Burrows. So I kind of get it. You're throwing with an eclipse in front of you, but he did. He needed a little bit of mustard off of that one.
He had a wide open touchdown. Remember that play. Let's see if Beech can make a stand here. 2:46 to go. It's 2nd and 10, just beyond midfield. They do get the handoff away to Cartwright. And, man, this kid is a hard runner. He does not look like your real road grader of a back, but he just continues to churn up yards. 2nd and 10 will become 3rd and 3 after that little tote there.
And coaches love running backs like him because you can get him 4 yards just by blocking, but he'll put his shoulder down and get him 3 or 4 more. There he goes. He gone.
Busting loose. Needs one man for the touchdown. And a shoestring tackle is able to save what would have been a score there. And Sam Keith in on the play there, as well as J.R. French, the two combining to save that TD. They go back to Cartwright, who from the 14 picks up a couple. Minimal gain there.
When the Green Hill offense starting to go really fast, and I wasn't real sure why. I mean, they still got 2 minutes on the clock. You're inside the 10-yard line now, so you can start to take your time, but they went a little fast there.
2nd and 9 from the 13. At this point, you have ample time. 1:35 to go, and you still got a timeout in your back pocket. They'll turn and give. There's the backup. And Brogdon, the bruising backup, 5'11", 205 pounds. His nose down. Gets them closer to first down yardage, picking up about 4. It'll be 3rd and a long 2 here.
Well, and Cartwright's doing a really great job of putting his shoulder down and hitting people, but I like watching Brogdon run the ball too because he's a wider kid. He's going to really hurt these kids the way he's running into them.
3rd and 3 from the 7. Burrows standing tall, now calling his own number. He's stretching. One more inch and he might have a touchdown, but he's brought down right at the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1-inch line here. And this is a massive drive, a picture-perfect drive in many regards for Green Hill. Took over with 4:39 left till halftime. They lead 14-7. And by the time they potentially score here, there will be about 20-some seconds left in the half.
Back under center inside the 5-yard line. I like this.
Man in motion, left to right, little end around, little touchdown. A little trickeration there. Thought we might get a QB sneak, but they sent Cartwright, who lined up in the left side slot on an end around, and he cuts right into the end zone. A gorgeous drive for the Hawks, who stretch their lead. It is 20-7, and again, just 25 seconds remaining till halftime. That is a massive cash in, and they took over with 4:39, and they chew up all that clock and tack on 7.
Yeah, that was just a masterful drive. The coaching staff did a great job getting them down here. You had just enough time to go ahead and score. Now you give the other team less than half a minute, and it's perfect because if Beech comes out the first drive of the second half and scores, you still got a lead.
Extra point, a little knuckler, but it's pure. And, man, Green Hill's 3 touchdown drives tonight, 9 plays, 80 yards, 10 plays, 54 yards. That one, 10 plays, 79 yards. They have been lethal offensively. And I've really enjoyed the diversification on the play calling, right, Casey? They've done a great job of running, and then either throwing downfield, but that hot to the tight end on the play action has really kind of carved up these defensive backs at times tonight.
Yeah, and they're doing a lot of things that you won't necessarily see in a box score that I think are helping them. You see all these orbit motions. You see a lot of just guys going in pre-snap motions. Every little thing that they're doing is forcing the Beech defense to read it and react to it. And then the next thing you know, they just run right up the middle of Cartwright or Nathaniel Brogdon. And, they're probably, I'd say they're at least 5-6 yards of carry tonight, and that's going to help you score a lot of points.
25 ticks. Barring a big return, you would assume Beech just clocks this, right? It takes us to halftime.
You would think so, but I've seen crazy things.
Hey, you're from Dixon, partner.
I live there.
There's nothing you hadn't seen, I'm sure.
No, sir.
25 ticks to go. A little bit of a pooch kick. It bounces at the 18. It's picked up at the 15. And this is going to be returned over to the right side. A long galloping run for Laster, who fumbled the punt earlier. He hangs on to the ball here, burning about 15 seconds or so. And again, Beech has still got 2 timeouts. I will admit, I'm not. I did not get to watch the kickers in warm-ups as much as I would have preferred. So I don't know the range, but, I mean, you get a play or two, a big chunk play, and you can maybe think about a long field goal here or at least a shot to the end zone.
And I'd love to see something. Let's see the last play. Maybe let's have a chance at something wild here.
They play it safe, though. But even Beech playing it safe is a little more dangerous than most, as they got Chelton Swafford out in space toward the right. He was pushed out of bounds. So he picks up about 5 yards. And that will leave 8 seconds. And again, you could run something quick over the middle here. Again, 2 timeouts for the Bucks.
If you do run anything over the middle, you're going to have to get down quick and take a timeout. You're not going to have enough time to run around.
Powell obviously got a massive arm, a Kentucky baseball signee. He runs, though, and he goes barreling to the ground at the 49, his own 49. One of the offensive linemen there, big Grady Edwards, he lost his war bonnet out there on the field, retrieves his helmet. And Beech calls a timeout with 2 seconds remaining. Again, ball will be at the 49. Burrows could presumably, Caden Powell could presumably flick his wrist and throw this ball 51 yards. But can the line, and especially, I'll be curious to see because Edwards now has to leave for a play, if I'm not mistaken. So that adds a new wrinkle to any potential last-second play here.
Does he still have to come out if Beech takes a timeout?
Now, that's a great question. That's a great point.
Because I was thinking the same question.
So we pay you the big bucks here.
Yeah, that's it. Big bucks.
Speaking of offensive linemen, I have failed as a play-by-play announcer to point out number 74, Big Jack Fuchs, son of Titans assistant coach. He's headed to Penn State. He's hard to miss out there.
Yeah, he looks 7 foot tall from here.
Yep, he's listed at 6'9", folks.
I believe it.
Beech lines up, 1 in the backfield, 3 wide outs to the right. The pocket breaks down, and quarterback does get a pass away, and it is complete, but it was going to be well short of the end zone. Picking up about 25 yards. Pushed out of bounds at the Green Hill 30 or so. And that's how the first half comes to a close. Very entertaining first half, but elite clock management on a late drive for the Hawks as Green Hill leads this game 21-7 here at the break. Casey and I are going to take a quick timeout. We'll kick off our halftime coverage here in just a matter of moments as you are listening to Main Street Media Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Halftime coverage of the Main Street Preps High School Football Game of the Week. We're presented all season long by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, who reminds you the fans don't let fans drive drunk. Also, we're sponsored this week and this season by Delta Dental of Tennessee. Visit deltadentaltn.com. We told you guys he was in the house earlier. Our good friend David Wilson, he's been down on the sidelines, and props on making it up to the press box here in record time. I don't know how you pulled that off, but kudos to you nonetheless, and thanks for joining us here at the break, my man.
Yes, good to be up here with you guys. It's a hot one for sure, but we're making it. It's a beautiful night here in Mount Juliet, and we got a good crowd in here. So I've kind of finessed my way through it, and we're up here, and we're going to talk a little, I guess, first half football here.
Absolutely. Let's dive right in. And I asked you just a moment ago, I said, how was it down there? You said it's hectic, first of all, but you said, man, this Beech offense, is it the Beech offense that's humming, or is it, the Green Hill offense that's humming and Beech just doesn't have answers? Kind of give us your first half thoughts.
Well, we kind of talked about it, Blaine and I, coming into the show as well. You know, this is a young Beech defense. They returned just one starter from last year's defense in DK Williams, who's been all over the field tonight trying to stop this high-powered Green Hill attack. I think it's a mixture of both, Wade. I think the Green Hill is obviously really talented. They can throw the ball with Cannon Burrows. He's got a plethora of wide receivers. We've seen the tight end Luke Parton come up big. Specifically in these drives, had the 11-yard touchdown pass. And then they can run the ball with Zach Cartwright and Piggy Brogdon. So it's like pick your poison for Beech. You're going to get it either on the ground or in the air. But I think the difference in the first half, Wade and Casey, was, the muffed punt by Lassiter, where Green Hill gets a short field and is able to cash in. It seemed like Beech could take the momentum right there if they wanted to, and you have a turnover on the road in a hostile environment. That kind of was the downfall of the Bucs in the first half per se.
Now, and David, I wanted to ask you, too. I know from up here it looks like the offensive and defensive lines has been it seems like it's kind of going Green Hill's way, but is that kind of what you're seeing out there? And I know Beech has got Jack Fuchs. I know they've got some big kids up front, but it looks like Green Hill's dominating. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, Blaine texted me and said, Beech's defensive line, per se, is getting absolutely pushed by that Green Hill offensive line. Green Hill, give them credit. They have a Division I commit on their offensive line as well with Ethan Harris, so they're going to have a veteran group there as well. Jack Fuchs is really kind of holding his own when Beech does run the football. They're running towards that left side, but I think you can see from the Green Hill perspective on defense, Omiza Danyan, he's all over the field, number 20 in green. He seems like he's in making every single play, so he's a heat-seeking missile, but it's a Beech team that's hanging in there, right?
Yeah.
Offensively, we've seen it. They kind of began that quarterback tandem. We knew coming in that we're going to see some Caden Powell. We're going to see some Sawyer Phillips as well. Caden did a really good job his first drive. I would like to see him get more of an opportunity.
With that being said, simple question, biggest adjustment in your mind? It seemed like Beech tinkered, and we saw the slowdown before the muff punt, obviously. They did get a stop, couldn't convert in that situation. What adjustments, though, can they do or should they do in your mind, David, as we enter the second half here in a moment?
Beech's identity with Coach Crabtree is to run the football, right? They have the personnel to do it. When you have a Division I commit like Shelton Swafford in your backfield going to East Tennessee State, use him. You have DK Williams, use him as well. Caden Powell is a running quarterback. He's a big boy, and he's very talented. Obviously, an athlete. He's going to Kentucky to play baseball, so he's got all the athletic ability in the world. I guess the question in my mind is when you make the switch of, running the football is very time-consuming, right? It took Beech a while. It's a 14-play drive for them to get in the end zone. Sawyer Phillips might be the more polished passer, per se. So, it's a balance, right? You go from somebody who has experience in Caden, who's been in and done it, but may not be the most polished passer? Or do you kind of go with Sawyer? So I think that's the question they're asking in the locker room right now is which quarterback do we start the second half with?
And David, I noticed earlier Nathaniel Brogdon got the first touchdown for Green Hill. Is that another guy that? And I know he only had like 19 carries for 100 yards last year. Who else does Green Hill have that they can bring off this bench and score some touchdowns?
Well, and that's what's crazy. And just talking to Coach Crouch throughout the preseason is they have so many weapons on the offensive side of the football that you can use. I guess for Titans fans that are listening, back in the day they had Lindell White and Chris Johnson. It was smash and dash, right? And that's kind of what you get with Zach Cartwright and Piggy Brogdon. Piggy's like that short yardage typical back that can ground it and pound it. He's got a little shake to him and a little move. And Zach is obviously somebody they want to get in open space. So it's like I said, it's kind of almost like pick your poison of when those guys get going, and then you add in Cannon Burrows, his dual threat ability. He can throw it, he can pass it. It's really hard to stop.
We're talking with David Wilson. He's been on the sidelines here covering this game again for Main Street Media. You can read his coverage all across our platforms here tonight. But just like everybody else that's in this press box here this evening, David, we get double duty. When you play on Thursday, that means you get to do a little Friday. Tell us about your Friday night plans.
Yeah, looking forward tomorrow night to going to Friendship Christian, the debut of Blake Waldorf, the former Watertown quarterback transferring to play for four-time state champion head coach John McNeil. Looking forward to that matchup. They play Trousdale County. So, I mean, you want to talk about a team that, may not be getting talked about enough per se. That Friendship Christian team is going to try to nip on the heels of a National Christian team that has, obviously, Jarrett Curtis, the defending state champs. So Friendship Christian, kind of like Green Hill, they didn't like the way that their season ended last year. They lost at home in the playoffs to DCA. So they feel like they should have played deeper into the postseason last year. So that is a hungry Friendship Christian team. Like Green Hill has a lot of weapons on offense. They have a 4-star offensive lineman in Caden Buchanan who's getting a ton of looks at the Division I level, the Power 4 level. You got Jaden McGowan in the backfield for Friendship Christian, D. Boone and Brady Stringer on the outside. So another high-powered offense that has a bunch of weapons.
Looking forward to it, and we look forward to catching up with you again soon, David. Thanks for all that you do for us at Main Street World, and best of luck here in the second half. We look forward to reading your stuff online.
All right, thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you very much, David Wilson, part of our Main Street Media team here on hand tonight as we are at halftime. Again, Green Hill takes a 7-0 lead. Beech answers, makes it 7-7, but 14 unanswered for the Hawks as the host, Green Hill Hawks, have a 21-7 lead at the break here on Main Street Media High School Football Game of the Week coverage. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, Casey and I will swing it around the state of Tennessee. We got some other games to give you guys some scoreboard updates on, and we'll also talk about the rest of the opening week of high school football season. Once again, your score, 21-7, Green Hill, the host Hawks leading the Beech Bucks by 2 touchdowns at the break. Back after this on Main Street Media High School Football Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental.
They walk among us, but at 240 miles per hour, they become something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit unhinged. Buckle up. This new era of speed, this racing revolution, it's just getting started.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Miller. Main Street Media is partnering with Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix at the Nashville Superspeedway to send a family of 4 to the race August 31st. To register, please visit any Main Street Media website and look for the Register Here banner. You'll also receive some fantastic Borchetta Bourbon Music City merchandise. We look forward to seeing you at the race.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the TSSAA and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Being in Tennessee, we wanted to try to keep it as local as possible, so we have an entire section of our menu that is just dedicated to local whiskeys like Uncle Nearest, Jack Daniels, of course, George Dickel, Nelson Brothers, Greenbrier whiskey, and all of our taps are all local. From 2 o'clock until midnight, we've got food every day for you guys. A good handful of appetizers, some entrees, and a couple salads and things like that. My name is Ethan Kanata. Please come down and see us at the Pick Lobby Bar here at the Omni in Nashville.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Halftime coverage rolling right along here on Main Street Media. High school football game of the week. We're on the campus of Green Hill where they host Hawks. Lead the Beech Bucks 21-7 at the break. Alongside Casey Patrick, Way Neely saying hello. We just heard from David Wilson, third member of our coverage crew here tonight, as it were. A lot of games going on. Obviously, tomorrow night, we mentioned even a few on Saturday, but some other games going on across the state of Tennessee that we figured we'd update you guys on while we're here at halftime again. Green Hill leading Beech 21-7. We'll start over in East Tennessee where Walker Valley is leading Cleveland 21-3. That game is at halftime. Oak Ridge all over Knoxville Halls. That game's in the third quarter. Second half action already. 28-7. Oak Ridge on top of Knoxville Halls. It's Signal Mountain leading Chattanooga Central 22-0. That game's in the third quarter. Haywood. This is a game we talked about in our pregame show, Casey. Haywood is on the road at Henry County, a very difficult place to play, but Haywood has struck an 8-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. We'll try and get you guys a further update on that one as the night rolls along. Some other scores available to us at the moment. Munford is leading Memphis Business 24-0 in the first quarter. Briarcrest Christian is also leading Evangelical Christian 14-0, and Livingston Academy on top of Cumberland County 21-0. So, Casey, kind of with that being said, our game here tonight, and we asked David this question. I'm going to ask you the same question, I guess. In your mind, if you are Beech, first of all, objectively, do you think they have the goods to make the adjustments to slow this offense down for Green Hill? And then if they do, what in your mind do they need to work on to slow them down?
Well, you know, when you talk about Beech, you talk about Coach Anthony Crabtree. He's a guy that he's won a lot of games before. He knows what he's doing. I think that they're going to come out in the second half. They're going to make some adjustments. They're going to be ready to go. The only thing is, you know, I kind of sit up here ignorant because I don't exactly know what they've got, and so I hope that Beech has got a little bit for him here in that second half because I'd like to see him pull it in and get it a little bit closer here.
21-7, and Casey and I told our audience earlier, this game has swung a number of different times. But it's really come down to just a couple key possessions, and the most critical by far were the Beech fumble after forcing Green Hill into a punting situation on their second offensive drive. The game is tied 7-7. They forced the punt only to fumble right at midfield. Green Hill cashes in and scores on a 10-play drive to make it 14-7. And then flip the script. It's Green Hill forcing a punt. And with 4:39 until halftime, we wondered if they could go 79 yards and end up with a score. Not only did they end up with a score, they ended up with a touchdown and a late score with 29 seconds remaining on a Cartwright 1-yard rush has put them up by this 14-point margin. The good news, Casey, is Beech does get the football you don't necessarily have to score ultra fast, but if you do get a score on this opening drive, it kind of does feel like we might have a game-on type situation back on our hands.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what Coach Crabtree's telling his team right now. He knows the importance of getting these guys out here, and I mean, it doesn't matter what sport you're talking about. A lot of coaches talk about the first 5 minutes of the second half, and that is very important because you want to see the type of adjustments your team has made. You want to see the type of adjustments the other team has made. You want to see if you're ready to go out here and get back into this game. And, of course, they're not too far away right now, but 14 points, a 14-point deficit can get ugly quickly if you don't come out here and answer to begin the second half.
It will be up to the Bucks, and it will be up to their highly talented offense, presumably to kind of get things rolling. I do want to ask you, too, since we mentioned the offense, Powell and Phillips, we saw the quarterback, quote-unquote, rotation a little bit. And, again, this was not a competition. We mentioned it in our pregame show. Caden Powell is an elite quarterback. We've talked about it a number of times. He's a Kentucky baseball signee. But Phillips played so well in those minutes that he was able to get in the offseason while Powell was out on baseball recruiting trips. Phillips just kind of played his way into the conversation. We saw them both at times in the first half. Do we see a similar situation in your mind in the second half?
Actually, honestly, I don't think you're going to see quite as much Caden Powell in the second half here, and probably really to no fault of his own. But the Beech offense only has 7 points, and there's only 2 quarters left of football for them to get back into this. And Green Hill, they've been able to run the ball all night long, so when they get the ball, they're really going to melt that clock. So I feel like Beech is probably going to run out there, and they're probably going to throw Sawyer Phillips out there because they know they need to move the ball up and down the field, and passing is going to be the best way to do that.
21-7 is your score as we get ready for the second half here in just a matter of moments. While we've got you guys, we might as well do a little bit of a tease, a little bit of housekeeping duties here. Next week, most of our games, if not all of our games, folks, will be on Thursday this year on our Main Street Media Game of the Week schedule. Next week, we'll be trickling a little further down 24 in this case, as Stratford will be at Stewart's Creek. Should be a fun matchup. Stratford, obviously a very dangerous opponent, and Stewart's Creek obviously has got the goods. Any team in Rutherford County is going to be tough, and so Stratford and Stewart's Creek will be our matchup next Thursday as we ease into our schedule. Again, most of our games, if not all of our games, going to be on Thursday, and that will be another dandy. If it's anything like this game tonight, Casey, I don't know if we could duplicate the weather, though. The weather tonight has been picture perfect for Week 1 high school football.
Yeah, I'm really going to consider myself blessed if I get another Thursday like this one. This has been perfect. And ever since we had decided ever since y'all had decided to let me help do this, I was kind of thinking about, it might be hot out here. It's going to be warm. We got a late August football game here, so you worry about how hot it might get. But man, it's been perfect tonight, and I'd take this year round if I could.
No doubt. Word to the I don't need to tell you this, obviously. Sometimes it's not the late August games you got to worry about. There'll be a week in mid-September where it feels like it's about 100 degrees in the surface of the sun. And then the next week it'll be 50 degrees. I mean, it's just kind of how the world works here in this neck of the woods. But we're looking forward to it. Again, Stratford at Stewart's Creek. That'll be our game next Thursday. You can find it right here on your same multimedia channels, part of Main Street Media TV, Main Street Media Radio. All of that is brought to you by our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental. Casey and I are going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get you prepped for the second half. Teams making their way out of the locker room. It's 21-7. Green Hill, the hometown Hawks, are leading Beech on opening night when we come back right after this.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Bongo Java, come see us at the Omni Nashville.
They walk among us, but at 240 miles per hour, they become something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit unhinged. Buckle up. This new era of speed, this racing revolution, it's just getting started.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Miller. Main Street Media is partnering with Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix at the Nashville Superspeedway to send a family of 4 to the race August 31st. To register, please visit any Main Street Media website and look for the Register Here banner. You'll also receive some fantastic Borchetta Bourbon Music City merchandise. We look forward to seeing you at the race.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Back with you guys here, Main Street Media, high school football coverage rolling right along. It's our game of the week. Beech at Green Hill, alongside Casey Patrick. Wayne Neely saying good evening. Casey, I don't want to overstate this, but this feels like the biggest drive of the ball game. Beech trailing 21-7. They will get the football to start the second half.
This absolutely is the biggest drive of the game because if Beech goes 3 and out here, or, I mean, even worse, if they start going backwards and then have to punt in like a fourth and really long situation or something like that, Green Hill's going to you're going to get that foot on the gas type of feel, I think. You know, if Green Hill can really start to build some of that momentum, they got plenty of it right with that touchdown right before the end of the first half. But if they can get a quick stop here, get the ball back, I think they're really going to look to, like I said, step on the gas.
Second half is moments away. Casey, I failed to ask you. I got to squeeze it in before we begin the second half. Who you got in Farmageddon over in Ireland as college football cranks up this weekend?
Oh, no. I haven't even thought about it yet. I'm so locked in on high school football. I ain't even got to college football yet, and I got to do that college football show next week. I probably need to do a little bit of research.
You better brush up on your Farmageddon. Iowa State and Kansas State going to go all the way to Dublin to play this weekend. Should be a fun one. Hopefully it's going to be an entertaining second half, folks. The first half was a dandy. Oh. And Green Hill is onside kicked.
They got it,
and
too.
Unless that touched them early, and I don't think it did.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Green Hill, Coach Crouch, the guts of a burglar right there. I mean, if that does not get recovered, Beech takes over right at midfield. But instead, it is a beautifully dribbled onside kick. And Caden Chandler not only delivered a great kick, he trailed it the entire way and recovers his own onside kick, and Green Hill takes over at the 49-yard line of the Bucks.
I saw Pat McAfee do that a few years ago. I thought that was genius. He kicked it. You got a few guys go right in front of him, act as blockers. He waits till it goes 10 yards and falls on it. It's a perfect play, and I think Green Hill's going to step on it now. They're ready to go.
opening play of the half is an onside kick. They go right to the air, and oh my goodness, a absolute BB thrown between two defenders and hauled in by Luke Parton. This tight end has carved up the secondary for the Bucks. That's a pickup of about 20 yards and an early strike for a first down.
Yeah, and I really like that play. You fake the screen down here to Luke Pfeffer, and the tight end Partine, he's had a great day, just wide open running in space.
And they're going to go right back to the air. They're going to go right back to Parton there as he hauls one in. Much shorter on the distance there. Pickup of 9. And officials timeout for injury. There's a Beech.
I believe it's Barrett Brown.
Yeah, it looks like Brown, number 0. We called his name a couple of times in the first half.
He's one of the vocal leaders for that Beech defense. It looks like cramps. I don't want to assume anything. You hope the kid can get back up and go at it soon. But Beech really does not need to lose him here on the first few minutes of the first 30 seconds of the second half.
So if you just tuned in, folks, if you're just rejoining us, it was 21-7 at halftime. Green Hill rolling the dice. Coach Crouch with an onside kick. Beautifully executed and recovered. They immediately have the ball to the Beech 16-yard line. Cannon Burrows is now 9 of 15 passing. He's going to be flirting with over 200 yards.
When I tell you what, after that onside kick, Caden Chandler he was hyped up. He was really happy about that. I love seeing these kids get excited about what they're doing, but you get a kicker out here and he's making plays, man. I love that.
Green Hill has brought the intensity. Not to say that Beech hasn't, but these Hawks have been ferocious tonight. 2nd and 1. Burrow's going to call his own number. Eludes one man out to the right.
Ooh.
He's not going to get a ton of yards, but he will be shifty enough to get the first down, moving the sticks. Stretching to the right, and then kind of a little wiggle inside to his left. The stretch play picks up a few and picks up a key first down.
And those wiggles that he did, they were really good to get him some extra space. And at first he was keeping himself straight up and not getting knocked over, but he got hit from the back pretty hard there making those moves. But either way, first down, and it's going to be a goal to go here.
Bad news is it's 1st and goal from the 10. As far back as you can get at the moment. And Burrows, stretch play, calls his own number. I'm not sure if that was that a read or was it a designed keeper?
I believe that was a read.
Maybe the wrong read, but he does somehow carve a few yards out of a potentially scary situation. And speaking of a scare, we got another injured Buccaneer on the turf here.
This does not appear to be a cramp.
Cramps are obviously kind of a high school football tradition, it feels like, the first week or two of the season. No matter what the temperature is, it's a downright perfect night for football here, but this looks a little more serious. And with that being said, we're going to step away for a quick timeout. We got an injured Buccaneer on the field. Green Hill's got the ball. 2nd and goal at the 5 when we come back. Injury timeout. You're listening to Main Street Media Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25-plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Had an injury timeout. Beech player slow to get up, but is off the field. alongside Casey Patrick. Wade Neely saying hello. And if you thought the first half was a tough one for the Bucks, this second half has been a disastrous start. Still got a lot of game left, but 10-15 remaining in this third quarter. Green Hill executes an onside kick to perfection. They've marched down 2nd and goal from the 5. Beech has also had 2 players depart on this drive due to injury.
Well, you know, and you think about it, other than these guys in green on the sideline, who knew that onside kick was coming? I mean, that was genius, and it's got the Hawks, again, I talk about pedal to the metal. They are rolling here to begin the second half.
Let's see if they can cash in here. They took over at the Beech 49. They've been on fire. As stretch play here. Not going to yield much. Had a quarterback substitution on that play, too. That was Brady Coleman, number 13, the sophomore, on the handoff there. But he was in. Burrows is back out for a play. Burrows' helmet had popped off. That's what it was.
Okay.
I do remember seeing that after that rush a moment ago. Got lost in the shuffle with the injury. But Cartwright losing 2 yards there. 3rd and 7, a chance for the Bucks now to bow up here defensively.
A really nice play by Devin Crutcher, too, to make a tackle there in the backfield. This is the second time we've called his name out after a long play for the offense earlier.
Play fake, not once but twice. Now rolling, throwing backside corner. Intended for Parton, the tight end. And not a bad throw by Burrows, even though it was an incompletion, because Parton was really the only player in the area that could have caught that.
I'm pretty sure that was a one-man route, too. I think that's going to him no matter what. Of course, Green Hill under center again on that last play. I liked them being under center inside the 5, but right there I think they kind of clogged themselves up a little bit too much.
And Green Hill will try out the field goal unit here. 9:25 to go. We're in the third. This is partially blocked maybe, or maybe just a knuckling kick, but somehow it wiggled through. That's a good kick for Chandler. Hawks was the holder. And so Chandler began the drive with the onside kick. He finishes the drive with a short field goal. And Green Hill extends its lead. It is now 24-7. Casey and I return in 1 minute as the Bucks hopefully will now get their hands on the football after an onside kick. 24-7 is your new score. Main Street Media coverage rolling right along here from Green Hill High School.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
As promised, there is a full kickoff this time. Green Hill will not onside kick. They will boot it deep, and Lassiter gets his hands on it, and he is a dangerous man, returning that out across the 35, finally tucked out of bounds near the 40. And we got an injured Green Hill player, and we mentioned those week 1 cramps. That looks like another situation there. Green Hill can't make out that number just yet. Someone's down, though.
Looks like number 6, LeBron Wales.
But a good little return.
I'll tell you, every time Laster gets his hands on the ball, I mean, you can tell he does have some speed to him.
He does. And kind of didn't have him fully in open space right there, but, man, it was pretty close.
Yeah, he tried to bend around the edge off of the block here on the kickoff, and he almost got his shoulder square. If he would have got his shoulder square, I think you would have seen some track speed then.
We mentioned Beech. It's one thing to take on Green Hill. They got to come right back to this neck of the woods next Friday night to take on Mount Juliet. Mount Juliet off tonight. You know, you wonder if, maybe take a peek a little bit if you're the coaching staff. They obviously got their own game to worry about tomorrow night, but it never hurts to do a little scouting.
Well, football coaches, they're either at a middle school game or this one.
You are exactly right. From the 35, this drive begins. 9:05 remaining here in the third. The Bucks don't have to be perfect from here on out, but they got to be pretty close.
Yeah, and I think this sets up a really nice storyline for Beech. If you can make your way back into this game, win or lose, if you make it close towards the end, I think you give yourself a little bit of momentum going into week 2.
Got the answer to your trivia question at halftime, too. Which quarterback will we see more of? Well, we got Phillips as the starter here to begin this drive. First play went for a couple. Second play going to go for a couple. Shelton Swafford is a hard runner for these Buccaneers.
Yeah, and he's a great runner, but that's 2 more runs for Beech right there. And I mean, we're just sitting here watching the clock just roll down. And I know it's not a huge deal yet, but at some point, Beech has got to get into second gear.
Sirens going off. That's the third down indicator here. Hawks have came up with a couple of third down stops tonight. Also got burned on a 3rd and long for the only touchdown producing drive for Beech. They need a big play. And they run up the middle into the teeth of the Hawk defense, and that is a losing proposition. The whistle blows for forward progress. Tough break there because DK Williams popped loose, and he might have kept running. He just had enough forward progress for the first down. But he stayed on his feet, kept the legs churning. He could have picked up more yards, but they blew it dead.
I like watching DK Williams play football.
Yeah.
I mean, and he looks like the type of athlete. I mean, he could go do shuffleboard or whatever he wanted to be pretty good at it, I think.
That is a massive first down, but as Casey pointed out, 7:25 left here in the third quarter.
False start.
Yeah, got movement on the left side of that line there for the Buccaneers. And guess who's in the middle yet again? Big Luka Nash. Nash has been playing his tail off tonight, but his celebrations have been just as entertaining. This is a nose tackle that has got energy for days. He is fired up, and he's pointing 5 yards going back the other way after the false start.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's in Beech's backfield pointing towards the other end zone. He knows they're pushing back.
24-7, Green Hill. They've never trailed tonight. We were tied once upon a time, though, 7-7. Handoff up the middle. And there's a little daylight, but again, not much. Flying to the football. Lazy Adanian in on the tackle.
I think if you're going to run the ball this much, you might as well just get Caden Powell back in there and just keep your running offense going. I mean, if you're just going to hand the ball off, then having Sawyer Phillips in there really doesn't do you much, I don't think.
You're not wrong there.
Probably going to put one in the air here, though, I feel like.
Lost 2 on that play. Swafford remains in the backfield. Phillips is going to play fake to him, roll to his right. Now he's pointing deep, loading up. A huge deep ball, and that pass nearly intercepted, nearly caught. There are multiple flags. There's going to be some sort of pass interference, probably against the defense here.
Yeah, and I know LeBron Wells isn't going to like this call, and I know that these fans don't like this call, but it's another underthrown pass interference. It happens at least once or twice a game, it feels like. And LeBron's got his hands up. He knows he didn't really do anything wrong. He's just getting a flag because the ball wasn't thrown far enough, but that's how football works. You got to get your head turned around. You can make a play on that ball.
Sometimes the underthrown ball can work in your benefit, as you point out there, and a key penalty. Beech has only been penalized 1 time tonight by my count. Green Hill only their 5th penalty tonight. None have really been more costly than that one on 3rd and long, but that was the key one. Let's mark it. Williams out of the backfield. Stiff arming one, stiff arming another. Now shimmying still in the backfield, and finally that allowed the cavalry to come home for Green Hill. Williams nearly stiff armed 2 young men into pay dirt. But finally, the troops rallied, and Green Hill lassos him in the backfield for no gain, maybe a small loss.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, one-on-one, I'll take Williams up against just about anybody else that's out there. But like you said, he got corralled by the group coming in there, and that's all the defense is looking to do. Just slow him down for a second, get everybody there, and you'll get him on the ground.
Williams, by the looks, more of a north and south runner. He went east-west that route, and it did not work in his favor. Here's a little pop right up the middle to Devin Crutcher, who we saw on a nice carry in the first half on a fake option. And Crutcher gets a couple. It's going to be third down.
It was that same play that Crutcher got, I think it was 10, 15 yards on earlier, that long I formation. He just takes the handoff up the middle. He's the up back, but I'm still kind of perplexed at the offense here and what Beech is doing. I mean, they got 2 yards on that play, and it's just a run right up the middle. And it's third and long. They're still lining up in this long I. But, again, I'm not a football coach.
24-7. Green Hill looking for a stop. And that pass, oh, my. It was deflected ever so slightly by the DB, Will Butler. And the receiver nearly had a second chance opportunity, but it comes up incomplete. We got a lineman down for the Bucks.
Oh, no, that's the big left tackle, Jack Fuchs. No, it's not. No, it's not. I see him walking around now. I don't know how I got them two mixed up. I didn't see 74 walking around for a second. No, it's not him on the ground, though. I got that wrong. 69, it looks like 59 maybe.
Could be we're checking to see that one last. That's 59, that's Hunter Smith. Yeah, and he is slow to get up. 6'4", 241-pound junior.
He did walk off under his own power, though. That's a little bit of a silver lining there.
We'll clip this for later in the season for Casey. Let the record show he got a 6', 241-pound lineman confused with a, 6'9", 295-pound lineman.
You want to see these glasses? I am blind, brother.
Fuchs is a massive kid, but they will need him to block like he has never blocked before. Beech will go for it. 4th and 8. This is the biggest play of the ball game. 5:08 remaining in the third. Under center, they hand it off.
And they're not going to get it.
By George, they are close, but I don't think they got it.
No, they're short by at least 2 yards there.
4th and 8, and they run the draw kind of up the middle. And a good surge, but not enough. Green Hill's defense stands tall, taking over with 5:03 remaining, leading 24-7.
I'm really perplexed now by that decision on the last 2 or 3 plays were all out of that long I formation. You got two or three tight ends out there, or 2 tight ends. You got a few fullback, upbacks, and a long running back. It's a good play. I mean, you got 8 yards, but it wasn't enough. You know, you needed 9 or 10 there.
So with 5:03 remaining, it was 21-7 to begin the second half. Green Hill kicked off. It was an onside kick. They recovered, had to settle for a field goal, but it was good. 24-7 is your new score, and now they've got a defensive stop. And Beech is really between a rock and a hard place here. They have to get a stop. In a perfect world, you even force a turnover here as the Hawks take over at their own 34.
Yeah, and I know a minute ago you said, they didn't have to be perfect, but they had to be close to it. And I think now they might have to be perfect going out from here on out, especially considering what, I personally, I don't have a crystal ball or nothing, but I feel like Green Hill's going to get out here, and I think they're going to run the ball like they have all night, and they're going to run the ball well. Even if they don't get 6 on the board here, I think they're going to get at least 3, and they're probably going to run the rest of this third quarter off. So if Green Hill can get off the field here with a 20-point advantage and we're going into the fourth quarter, I think a lot of these fans are going to be really happy with their current situation.
That's the bad part, Casey, is Beech has been pretty one-dimensional. Not to say they couldn't be multi-dimensional, but they've been kind of forced. Their only success kind of really running the football. Green Hill, meanwhile, they have done a great job of mixing it up. And that's what makes this drive, you would assume, that, you're going to ground and pound and just chew up clock.
Well, you see Brogdon coming out there, the bigger back, too. They're going to pound the rock, I feel like.
They're going to do so, but they're going to make you think about a throw. They've got 4 wideouts, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. 5:03 as the drive begins at their own 34, and right on cue, there is Brogdon. Sheds 1 tackle. He was getting ready to be brought down in the backfield. But a hard-nosed runner is Brogdon.
I believe we have the Brogdon contingency down here with us too. We got a few folks with the Brogdon shirts on, so they're happy to watch Nathaniel go out there and break a few tackles.
Yeah, he has run very hard and very well tonight. Opening touchdown made it 7-0 for that young man.
When it's a young man, he's getting his opportunity. Like his last year, and he's already got 10 tonight, or maybe at least 8. I think. They're looking for a penalty. They're not going to get it on that one.
2nd and 2. They milked the play clock down to 2. And now Burrows loading up. Flick of the wrist. Incomplete. Hawks was the intended target. It was well over his head, but he was the only one in the area that could have. So an incomplete pass. Now 9 of 16 passing.
Well, now Hawks is coming off the field. I don't believe he's injured, but he's going to have to go sit down for a minute. Something's bothering him. He did come up a little lame there on that last throw, which Burrows overthrew everybody on that one. But not the worst case scenario. You got 2nd and short. You take a deep play there. You try to hit something. Just throw it over everybody's head. You got 3rd and short.
It's a big play for Beech if they want to get back in this game. Man in motion toward the left. Oh, my. That is snagged.
Ooh. Good tackle.
I'm not sure if that was the intended receiver, but Parton, at first I thought it was a defender, and I thought it was an interception, but Parton snagged it. It looked like a swing route was developing, but Parton just snags it out of the air and falls forward, but he's a yard shy of the first down.
Oh, they're bringing in number 20, Omizia Denningen, and I believe this is going to be a handoff to him up the middle. He's a big kid, and I want to see him run it real quick. With a very short yardage back.
4th and 1.
Oh, he might just be coming in to play fullback.
And we got a timeout called. Coach Crouch will burn a timeout. And we're going to take a quick break as well. Late in the 3rd quarter here, Green Hill trying to deliver a knockout blow. The Hawks leading 24-7 versus Beech. When we come back, Main Street Media coverage brought to you all season long by our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Thanks to our folks at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Also thanks to our friends at Delta Dental. Make sure you visit them at deltadentaltn.com. Alongside Casey Patrick, Wayne Neely saying hello. David Wilson, 3rd member of our Main Street Media contingent here tonight. He joined us at halftime. 4th and 1. Green Hill will leave the offense out. They will go for it, leading 24-7. And a massive surge. They got the first down and then some. As the quarterback Burrows just kept driving, keeping the legs moving and churning close to midfield. Plenty enough for a first down.
And that's a really smart play because you got Brogdon's had a good night. He's in the backfield. You got Cartwright in the backfield. He's obviously the best running back they have. You put Denningen back there, and, of course, the quarterback just takes it, calls his own number, goes right up the middle, and had plenty of space to go get the first down.
That was video game-esque where you call the quarterback sneak and you end up still getting like 6 yards. They're not really supposed to work like that, but it's a thing of beauty when they do. Still with the trip wideouts to the right, one to the left, another designed QB keeper. Oh, and a nice tackle. Good open field wrap-up in the backfield by Wyatt Davis, 5'10", 180-pound senior linebacker for the Bucks. Beech is hanging by a thread here, trailing 24-7. That 4th down stop would have been massive, but now you really got to get one because this time is bleeding away. 2:25 left in the 3rd.
Yeah, and this is probably your best opportunity. It's been hard to make Green Hill go backwards all year or all night long.
Yeah, all year, technically.
Yeah, all year, technically. And so, knocking them back a little bit here, this may be your best chance. Beech needs to get off the field here if they want to win this game.
Throw,
Ooh.
catch, tackle. That is a big tackle And that is one of the few times an open field tackle from DK Williams, who's one of the best tacklers on this Beech team. But they've done a great job of scheming away from him at times tonight. Green Hill makes the grab, gets a couple of yards, but it'll be third down. Beech is, again, hanging in there, but they got to get a stop or, in a perfect world, a turnover. 3rd and 8, a minute 40 left here in the third quarter, trailing 24-7.
Zylan Beard caught that ball back here, and he got knocked back 3 or 4 yards by DK Williams on that one. Oh.
Here's a snag, and that is a first down, a back-breaking first down. And Luke Pfeiffer, 6'1", 180-pound senior, he climbs the ladder, tiptoeing along the sideline, making a first down grab. And, man, this Green Hill offense is a fun unit when it's playing like it is tonight. They are doing everything well.
Well, yeah, and 11 right there, I forgot his name for a second. Luke Pfeiffer just ran a curl route, caught the ball. Oh, another one.
Burrows throws another one. Luke Parton's going to go over 100 yards receiving tonight. Already caught a touchdown. And, man, this offense is continuing to hum. And this was kind of what I alluded to before this drive began, Casey. They've been so balanced. You can't slow down the run. You kind of can't slow down the pass, and they're basically bleeding the clock through the air right now. Easy completion. 2nd and 1. Burrows will call for it. And turn around and hand it off out of the gun for a first down. And that probably will end the quarter. Piggy Brogdon. We've been going formal all night. We've been calling him Nathaniel. But David and our PA announcer are calling him Piggy, so I'm going to hop on the Piggy bandwagon here. And why not? This kid is a hard runner, folks.
Well, and this has been a 5-minute drive. They're going to come off the field. They're not going to play another play, but I'm not really even sure. I may be wrong here, but I don't know if Cartwright's touched the ball yet on this drive. And that goes back to the point you were talking about. They've got different things they can go to. The tight end, the receiver, Pfeffer. Brogdon's got the carry up the middle. Burrows getting a first down on the ground. They got a lot of different weapons. They're doing it all a bunch of different ways. Swiss Army knife right now, and just from my perspective, a lot of fun to watch.
Green Hill has been impressive tonight, and this is, again, versus a quality Beech team. This is not against a slappy. And I know Beech is frustrated right now, but Green Hill is playing at a very high level, even though it is the opening night of high school football season. We head to the fourth quarter, 24-7. The Hawks trying to close it out, driving for a knockout blow when we begin the final call here on Main Street Media's Game of the Week coverage, presented by the friends at Delta Dental and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25-plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Thanks to our friends at Delta Dental TN, as well as our fine folks at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, who remind you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. Alongside Casey Patrick, Wade Neely saying hello. Casey, this has been a very entertaining high school football game to open up our 2025 season. And we closed the third quarter by saying, no disrespect to Beech. I'm not sure a lot of teams would beat Green Hill the way they're performing tonight. The Hawks lead at 24-7. They've got the ball 1st and 10 at the Beech 24 as we begin the fourth, looking for a knockout blow.
Yeah, well, we've talked about it all night long, but Green Hill, they got a strong program. You see all these folks out here, and it's a wonderful night for football anyway. So, it's first night. You're going to get a lot of folks out here, but even the Beech stands, you got a few people here. But It is. This is a tough environment for anybody to walk into and expect to come out victorious. And, of course, Green Hill undefeated last year, so just keeping everything rolling going into this year.
We mentioned it in our pregame. Hawks went 10-0 last year, including that crazy game to close the regular season where they defeated Mount Juliet 12-10 right here at Green Hill. And then, bam, turned around and got a bucket of cold water dumped on them in the first round by Blackman, 45-14. It's a little unfinished business, it feels like. Big game next Friday for this bunch, too. They play Page here at Green Hill. Throwing for it, 1st and 10 from the 24. If you're just tuning in, Green Hill is running the clock by throwing the football. Another completion. That time to Aiden Sadler. Now they're kind of getting cute in terms of throwing extra receivers in. First catch of the night for Sadler, and that one goes for 20 yards.
Well, now you got Danian coming back in. You got Brogdon coming back in. Cartwright's still out there. He was the play action on the last play. So now you got all three of these guys. They're going to be in the backfield. This might be – you got an injured player, number 5, trying to make his way off the field for Beech.
Santiago Baltazar, who we have not called his name a lot tonight, but he was going to be a key cog for this team defensively. And he's walking off. A little assistance, but hopefully he's okay. 5'10", 209 pounds. D lineman / linebacker. He can kind of float between the two spots. He's a junior.
Yeah, Coach Crabtree might be wanting to just get out of here without any more injuries as far as the rest of this game is considered.
If you're just tuning in, Green Hill scores on its opening drive. Beech, thanks to a late hit penalty on a 3rd and very long, saw its drive extended. They scored to make it 7-7. It was 21-7 Green Hill at half. Just 3 points in the third quarter, but Green Hill's trying to KO the Bucks here. Another end around, another touchdown. We saw Cartwright score from the 1-yard line on that end around a moment ago at the end of the first half. We see him open the fourth quarter with a 4-yard score, and the Hawks have opened it up. 30-7 is your new score. Brilliant execution right there. Simple premise, but blocked beautifully, and Cartwright just cruises into the end zone.
Well, the defense kind of has to pick their poison. You can try to stop Brogdon up the middle on, short yardage situation, or, you put guys on the edge to try and stop that jet sweep, and Green Hill's going to make you pay either way right now.
66-yard touchdown drive.
The Dillon Hawks did a really nice job right there as the holder, making sure he got that ball down. It wasn't a terrible snap, but he was able to get his hands on it, get the ball down for Caden Chandler, there to knock that extra point through.
Been a crazy game, too, in that sense, Casey. 31-7 is your new score, 11:30 to go. Even Beech, all of our touchdown drives tonight for Green Hill. 9 plays, 10 plays, 10 plays. Their field goal drive a moment ago was a 7-play drive. That was their shortest scoring drive of the night. And then this one just a moment ago, 11 plays, 66 yards, 5.5 minutes coming off the clock. But even Beech's touchdown came on a 14-play, 61-yard drive. So these teams have really kind of churned and chewed their way up and down the field. Have not seen the big plays. And unfortunately for Beech, now is the time. If you are ever going to get back in this game, you need an immediate strike to kind of just give you a sign of life.
Yeah, Beech is going to have to do – they're going to have to do something really miraculous here to make this a game. I'm not ready to, put it away just yet, but Beech is going to have to do something here to make people stay in their seats.
We told you about that Henry County game earlier. Haywood leading at 22-15 now. Short kickoff. Beech has been able to return all these kickoffs tonight. And this is a little slippery out to the left. A little extra daylight there for Swafford. And somehow he's still on his feet. Now he's wiggling back toward the right. They finally bottle him up, but not before he gets beyond midfield. Swafford took that at around the 15. On the near side hash, close to the sideline, weaves all the way out toward the left around the 45. And then right when you think the play is over, he scoots inside across the 50. And Beech Didn't score there, but that would probably qualify as a big play. Certainly their biggest gain of the night across all three phases.
And now Caden Powell's back out at quarterback. He's more the running quarterback. But he throws one.
He throws a short completion. It is caught, as I mentioned. Brock Miller hauls it in. Time is of the essence for these Bucks now.
Yeah, and I think Brock Miller, he's one of the players that had to come off to an injury earlier in the game, so it's good to see him back out there.
They have really got to go here.
Yeah, they're taking way too much time.
Yep, that was on a 3-yard completion. And the play clock's already down to 10 seconds. Seconds just bleeding off here. Now they're going to run. If you're going to run, you got to get this first down to keep the momentum rolling. But a great open field tackle. I have been really impressed with the number of players from Green Hill that have just swarmed to the football. And that was Hayden Kennedy. We saw him make a great stop in the first half. He makes another here. And it's a 3rd and 3.
Hayden Kennedy's just another one of those seniors on that Green Hill team. They've all just kind of stepped up and made a play whenever they needed to at some point tonight.
31-7. Green Hill has never trailed tonight. We were tied once upon a time at 7. Here's a massive carry up the middle. Calling his own number is Caden Powell. It does move the sticks. It does slow down the momentum, but, man, they have got to score in a hurry. Again, trailing 31-7. 1st and 10 for the Bucks upcoming. Ball's at the 32.
I feel like Beech might just kind of be mailing this one in. They don't really have the sense of urgency that I think a team would have that's trying to win this football game.
Might revisit that another play or two.
Well, I mean, Caden keeps putting his head down.
He picks up about 8 yards on that tote right there, quarterback keeper. But I'm kind of with you, too. I mean, at the end of the day, we got to remember this is a non-region game, and this is a season opener for a team that is still trying to figure some things out. Yeah, you'd like to maybe get back in the game and somehow pull off a crazy victory, but you also kind of need to square away some things because you got to come right back here to Mount Juliet next week.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see the Beech starters for the rest of this drive, but depending on what we see, I mean, maybe even next drive for Green Hill, I think you might start to see some of the other bench guys get a little bit of play.
It's been all Green Hill tonight, 31-7. And this Hawks team, again, they have the look of a team with kind of unfinished business on their mind. 10-0, perfect regular season. And then in the blink of an eye, it was all over. Bounced in the first round at home by Blackman.
Well, you don't know if it was the seniors, you don't know if it was the coach, but somebody took that personal, you know, and they brought it out here tonight, and they're playing. They are playing with a real sense of passion. You know, they're going out there, they're attacking every play.
It's been fun. We've seen players in all 3 phases of the game tonight make big impacts for Green Hill. Big handoff up the middle for Swafford. And he eludes. Man, someone came flying into the backfield, and if they had tackled Swafford, he'd be dropped for a big loss. But as such, he was able to escape and pick up a first down. Clock continuing to roll. It's Green Hill 31, Beech 7, 7:50, all that's left in this contest.
Yeah, and I think the rest of that clock's probably going to run pretty quick, too. I think both of these teams want to get out of here with no injuries. You know, I think we've had a few injuries tonight, but I think everybody stayed mostly healthy for the most part. So, oh, no.
Before they could throw the ball, comes out of the hands of Powell, the quarterback. That's a carry, but not by design. He fumbled the football, getting ready to throw it. Just a pure drop, but he does pick it up and loses a yard. I thought he might have got back for a no gain.
You can kind of see Powell. He's down there talking to 44 DK Williams. I think DK may have got too close to him when he went to go throw and he hit his elbow on him. I'm not sure if that's exactly what happened, but Caden was talking to him when he got back up.
Under 7 minutes to play. Barring something miraculous, Green Hill is going to start 1-0. And Beech is going to have a stiff test, again, at Mount Juliet next Friday. Swafford on the tote there. And picks up a couple. Picks up 5. This is the 9th play of this drive. That is not really what you want to hear when you're trailing 31-7. As Casey alluded, Beech may be just trying to get in for a score and just build a little momentum for next week at this point. 6:15 to go. 3rd and 7. Quarterback keeper. There are some positive signs of life. We really have liked what we've seen from Powell, especially in the running game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's got a big body. We've talked about the fact that he's a Kentucky baseball commit, so that tells you he's an athlete. He can play probably whatever sport he wanted. But, you know, you got a big body like that, you can run. Sometimes it's all right, just put your head down and go get a first down every once in a while.
And that will prove useful for them later in the season. But trailing 31-7, that's not the recipe to get back in this game and really pull off a crazy comeback. But it's going to be a long season. Here's a handoff to Swafford. He skips it around the 2, stretches, and he's in. Swafford goes in for his 2nd rushing touchdown. And a nice answer for Beech. Maybe a little window dressing, cosmetic only perhaps. We still got 5:31 to play. But a positive momentum builder, if nothing else, for them on a 10-play scoring drive.
Well, you know, I'm sure, you know, Coach Crabtree, he's not going to say this out loud, but this is, I mean, it's an out-of-region matchup. This is one of those things where, you know what, let's just chalk it up. We learned some things we wanted to learn tonight about our football team. Let's get out of here, you know, and make a few plays, get us a touchdown, feel good about something, and go on to the next week.
Extra point is good. Speaking of next week, Casey and I will be on the road in Rutherford County next Thursday night. We mentioned almost all of our games this season will be on Thursdays. It'll be Stewart's Creek playing host to Stratford. Should be a fun showdown. As
it's been a few years since I've seen Stratford play.
There's been some Stratford Beech connections over the years with Anthony Law, if I recall correctly.
I got to see Stratford and East Nashville. I think that was 2 or 3 years ago. Went and covered that game. That was fun. Those two teams, they love playing each other. So.
And you know it's high school football season when the PA announcer says 2 cars need to be moved immediately. Anthony Law, coach of Stratford. Justice Law, star quarterback, formerly of Beech, and then ended up at Stratford. Little family operation there, but that should be a fun showdown. Stratford is one of those teams that if you overlook them, you are primed to get smoked. But even if you don't overlook them, in some years they can really, really put on a show. They're kind of the ultimate wild card. I feel like they're a team that sometimes you sleep on them, and the next thing you know, they're in the quarterfinals or the semifinals of the state playoffs, and then some years you sleep on them and they only win 3 or 4 games. It's kind of a mixed bag with those guys, but they're always entertaining to watch, if nothing else.
When they've always got a lot of speed, they've always got a lot of size and strength, and what it always comes down to is whether or not they can execute. And some of those better Stratford teams, you know, with some of those big names on them, they were able to execute a little bit better. But hopefully next week out at Stewart's Creek, we'll have us a good football game to watch.
Should be fun. I mentioned as it's 31-14 here, we'll see if Beech will go for the onside kick. Next week, Beech will be at Mount Juliet. Talk about a big matchup, though. Green Hill, Page comes into town. Page is back in my old stomping grounds. They're down at Giles County at the Brickyard tomorrow night. That should be a fun matchup between the 5A Patriots and the 3A Bobcats. Fun old-school rivalry between those teams, former region rivals years and years ago. But Page and Green Hill next Friday night, that would be a hot ticket here in the Mount Juliet area.
And I tell you, Page, they've got a transfer from Forest. Now, the only reason I know this is because I was looking up some Creekwood Forest stuff that's going to be tomorrow night. But they had a transfer, Chase Briscoe, I believe was his name, or Owen Briscoe, a linebacker. He runs really well. So I'm excited to see how he plays against next week. Oh, we did have an onside.
Onside kick takes a perfect hop but no one is there to pick it up for Beech. Goes over the head of Green Hill, but it goes out of bounds. So 5:31 remaining. Green Hill can really put this game on ice, and that probably ends any comeback effort for the Bucks. Who we want to emphasize, this game was 7-7. It never felt like Beech was ever, quote-unquote, in control of the game by any stretch, but when they tied the game up, it certainly felt like it was a game-on situation. They forced Green Hill into a punt. The punt then is muffed. Green Hill recovers and then really never looked back.
You know, as much as that 3rd and 26 play was a big play in this game, that fumbled punt is really what turned it on its head. I don't think Beech had what it took to beat Green Hill tonight, but if you get that play back, I wonder how differently the night goes.
I'm with you. Here is a give to Cartwright.
He gone.
Casey called it.
Oh, pushed out.
A little late closing speed as Cartwright is shoved out of bounds. A 27-yard pickup for Cartwright. He wiggles. It's a give up the middle. He catches and bounces toward the outside as a foot race. Had one man to beat. And someone on that Beech far secondary side just tripped him up. Or else we are talking about a late touchdown.
I think it was J.R. French in the Buccaneers' defensive backfield, but I'm not exactly sure about that. But, man, Cartwright, he sure is shifty. Man,
yeah.
He's hard to get a hand on, and he's quick.
Green Hill is going to be a fun team to watch yet again this season. Give up the middle. Trickling toward the left. Good tackle there for the Bucks. Cartwright in on the carry, but good little bring down there for Devin Crutcher. We've called his name a couple times on offense tonight, but he's a good little linebacker as well. 5-yard tote there for the tailback for the Hawks.
Cartwright coming off the field. I don't think he's going to be back on the field for the rest of the night. That would certainly be my choice if I was the coach, but I don't know what we're going to see.
2nd and 5. What that means, though, you can maybe sense the hairs on the back of his neck rise in case he gets excited because there's Piggy Brogdon, and here he goes. He can make a 2-yard give right up the middle look entertaining. He just smashes his way forward, taking a couple defenders down with him. And we said defenders. It takes at least 2 guys to bring this guy down when he totes it right up the middle like that.
It sure does, and David Wilson called it earlier. He talked about Chris Johnson and Lindell White with smash and dash, but you know, Piggy Brogdon out there wearing 24. I mean, he looks like, he looks like Lindell White a little bit, and he able to get in the end zone there to begin the game, and just a good start for him. A really awesome game for Nathaniel Brogdon.
And that's going to be a developing storyline. If folks didn't know about this kid, they do now. He has played very well tonight. A couple touchdowns. Here's a give, and nice little keeper. Oh, and a lowering of the shoulder. And a little bye-bye birdie into the end zone for Cannon Burrows. Burrows, I want to let the record show, did not have to deliver the shoulder blow, but he did because he's a gamer. Scampering in for 13 yards and a touchdown. A late penalty comes in. Everything's coming up Green Hill tonight. The touchdown makes it 37-14, but we will check on the marker, which I believe came in the end zone after the play.
Yeah, it's after the play. The Beech, DK Williams has his hand up like he's mad that a flag has been thrown at him, but the referee was pointing at a Green Hill player, so I really don't know what's going on down there.
And again, Burrows calling his own number, wheeling to the left. He got to about the 2-yard line, and he just craving a little contact. Lowers the shoulder, gets into the end zone.
Man, you get down inside the 5-yard line, you ain't thinking about the scoreboard no more. You want to get in that end zone.
And we will sort out a personal foul that will go against Green Hill.
On the kickoff.
Yeah, on the kickoff. So regular PAT. After Green Hill's first touchdown, we saw this wild super spread PAT formation. We saw a penalty for illegal substitution. We've not seen that yet again, I don't believe.
No.
37-14 as they line up for the traditional marker here. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. Another nice drive. Man, Green Hill has dazzled offensively tonight. I was just touting all these long drives. They did that one in short order, though. A 4-play drive, 47 yards, burns a little less than 2 minutes. And Green Hill is on its way to 1-0. 38-14 is your new score. A quality performance, especially on the offensive end here tonight.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Caden Chandler just knocked through another extra point. That's another young man. Well, they got 5 touchdowns and a field goal tonight. Fantasy-wise, I mean, he'd be worth about 10 points. But I think Caden Chandler's had a really good night. He's got the onside kick as well to begin the second half. There's a lot of guys, we're going to have plenty of time to talk about it later, but there's a lot of guys wearing green down there that have had an excellent night tonight and have helped the Hawks pull away with a Week 1 victory over, and I know I'm talking a little early here, but I think Beech is ready to go at this point.
Yeah, comprehensive victory tonight for the Hawks. There ain't no doubt about it. And again, not taking anything away from Beech.
Absolutely not.
The tale will be written. Again, we knew coming into this game that they had some things they were unsure about and wanted to figure out. I think they may have gotten a little bit sharper of a picture, but against a really tough opponent, they ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw here tonight, Green Hill. It's worth pointing out, we talked in our pregame, Coach Crouch, he made no bones about it. As disappointing as last year was, he said the only way for us to really kind of get better and to maybe make that deeper run into the postseason is by scheduling tough teams. We mentioned they got Page next Friday night. Then they got a 2-game stretch of at Ravenwood, at Centennial. But wait, there's more. Their region schedule includes Gallatin, Cookeville, Lebanon, Wilson Central, and then obviously the showdown at the end of the season at Mount Juliet. So if Green Hill can somehow duplicate even close to what they did last year with that 10-0 regular season, they will have certainly earned it when you got the likes of Beech, Page, Ravenwood to start you off here in your first 3 games.
And it's our job to bring up last year. It's our job to talk about what happened and stuff like that. But it's Coach Crouch's job to make sure these guys don't worry about that no more. And that's I really get the feeling that's what they're doing. They're looking forward. They're going ahead. They're worried about Week 1 today. They're not worried about playoffs last year, and you can tell it by the performance that they've had. Everybody's locked in. They're all having a fantastic game. Like I said, a lot of guys in green playing well tonight, and so I think it all kind of breathes into each other. And yeah, I mean it probably will help them to do that whole schedule, but they're focused on all this. I don't know if Coach Crouch isn't trying to get them just to forget completely about all that last year.
They have looked outstanding tonight, 38-14. Booted away. Here's a knuckler. Hits an up man for the Buccaneers at around the 40-yard line. Again, after a 15-yard penalty, it was a deeper kickoff. And Green Hill finally brings him down at around the 49. 3:45 to go in this contest. Alongside Casey Patrick, Wade Neely saying hello. Mark Rogers was our producer tonight. Small production assistant credit, small, to Scott Stewart back in Giles County. Thank you, Scott. David Wilson was on hand. We see him still downfield level. He's going to where? Friendship Christian tomorrow night, too?
I believe that's what he said.
We have got wall-to-wall coverage. If you miss any bit of a game tonight, tomorrow night, or Saturday night, Main Street Preps and all of our Main Street properties, we've got you covered. Here's a wobbler that is in and out of the hands, first of a defensive back and then of a receiver. That was initially knocked away by the DB, King Wright. How about the freshman? First night of your freshman season, and you get a little pass breakup there.
Well, and I'm just going to tell you, I'm a little bit surprised right now because on the field you've got Jackson Crawford and Omizi Danyon for Green Hill, and Jack Fuchs is still out there for Beech. I'm surprised a lot of these starters haven't started to make their way off the field with 3.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, just 3:38 to play. 2nd and 10 now. And Swafford will carry this one. Speaking of starters, that first pass, again, was incomplete. And so a 6-yard pickup there for Swafford. 3rd and 4. Green Hill fans have had everything to cheer about tonight. It has been a tough go of it for the Beech Buccaneer faithful, but it has been a gorgeous night for high school football. So glad that you guys have been with us. Give up the middle. Williams. He shows a little shiftiness there. Took a little contact and then managed to wiggle out of danger, staying on his feet. The big fella, DK Williams, picking up a first down. Still battling.
I think he just likes hitting people.
Yeah.
He probably just went up to coach and was like, hey, give me the ball. I want to go hit somebody.
2:40 to play. We'll be in Rutherford County next Thursday night. Stratford at Stewart's Creek. That will be a dandy of a showdown. Here's Phillips uncorking one. And we got a penalty in the secondary. Phillips, that ball was not even close to
it's
either a receiver or a defensive back.
It's going to have to be defensive holding for them to call the penalty here. You can't, it couldn't be pass interference because that ball was about 12 foot over his head. They're going to give him 15 yards, though.
Tough break there for the Green Hill secondary. I want to amend something that I mentioned a moment ago, Casey. I was giving our shout-outs, and I said a small production credit to Scott Stewart. We'll assign him the role of equipment coordinator because thanks to Scott, and thanks to our friends down at Pulaski Citizen, we're able to bring you guys this broadcast because, well, it's all their equipment. So thank you guys. Our equipment coordinator this season, Mr. Stewart. Big tackle on a stretch play toward the far sideline. Green Hill flying downhill, flying to the football. And a couple of players in on the tackle, including T.J. Buchanan. No gain on the play. A little stretch. Just kept going and going. That was River Bailey on the tote there, number 22 for the Bucks. And then we saw Buchanan just fly in, say, not on my watch. Sets up 2nd and 10. Well, after the no gain, they go back. Casey made a good point a minute ago. Quite a few starters still in this game, including Swafford, which, it is week 1. And for a team, you're trying to figure some things out, maybe get in a little bit of a rhythm. Continuity could be helpful. It will not change the outcome of this game, though. We got 1:15 to play. Green Hill trying to batten down the hatches defensively. 3rd and 7. Phillips dumps into flat. That was a little too easy there. And a catch is made. And upfield for a first down by River Bailey.
Yeah, now I've said this a few times. I'm not a football coach, but man, if I was, there ain't no way I'd have my starters out there right now. And some of the guys for Green Hill have started to make their way off the field. I don't see Danian out there anymore. I don't see Crawford. Beach has still got. Sawyer Phillips, of course, he's the second quarterback, but they still got DK Williams out there, and Swafford was carrying the ball just a minute ago. But we're under a minute to go here.
That was Wyatt Davis. I stand corrected on the catch there. Handoff to Williams, who barrels his way in for the score. 11-yard rushing touchdown for DK Williams. A little too little, too late, but good to see DJ, who's been battling hard all night long. He's in for the score. But the Green Hill band is tuned up. Fans are revved up. Kind of an odd reaction here. Green Hill gives up the touchdown. The fans are, this game is 37 seconds away from being over.
Oh, yeah, all these people in these stands are ready to go out and see their kids on the field. They've been ready for this game to be over the last few minutes.
I will point this out, though. There's 37 seconds left. They're lining up for a PAT. If you go for 2, it would have been a 16, still 16 points, but would have made it at least a 2-possession game. So by kicking the PAT, they effectively all but waved the white flag, and down 17 now.
Well, yeah,
Not saying, that would have been the most ridiculous comeback of all time, but by going for 2, you at least, although you maybe want to work on your kicking game, you may need those points in a short yardage situation later in the year.
Well, and like I said earlier, I mean, there were so many plays where they let the play clock run down to under 5 seconds. I mean, and we're talking like third, fourth, like early in the fourth quarter. Beech didn't have the sense of urgency that I think they really, really needed in the second half. And I don't, honestly, I don't know if they could have held Green Hill anyway. Green Hill just it seems like a buzzsaw right now. They're kind of all just off and running.
I will say this. Anthony Crabtree has forgotten more about football than I will ever know. 21 seasons at Beech. He's got 186 career victories. He won't get 187 tonight. But you can bet your bottom dollar that he will have this team looking pretty close to usual Beech standards by the end of the season.
Oh, yeah.
They're just one of those teams. Even in their down years, quote-unquote down years, it feels like they always find a way to make themselves in the conversation.
Oh, it's still Beech. You think about Crabtree, he's been there 21 years. Think about all the talent he's had come through that school.
Onside kick. Ball's loose.
Green Hill got it back. But, again, Beech is doing all the stuff they should have been doing 30 minutes ago, They almost got that onside kick, too.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and that is a little mystifying to me. Because, again, if you would have gone for 2, if you recover that, throw one deep in the end zone, score, and then go for 2. You're only down 8 at that point. I mean, like I said, there was a tiny possibility, but and more importantly, though, we got an injured player.
I'm afraid that's Jackson Crawford. He's the one that tried to catch the hop, the kick there. He tried to catch it, and he did get walloped by a Beech special teamer.
Green Hill has been fantastic, folks, tonight. We mentioned they averaged 32.2 a game last year, only gave up 10. They gave up 21 tonight, but 14 of those have been in pretty much garbage time. So they have looked every bit as dominant. First ever meeting between these two schools.
First meeting ever between these two, really. I didn't even read that anywhere. I didn't know
in my limited research.
Yeah. That's all I ever do is limited. Yep. Yeah. First matchup. Which, of course, Green Hill is a newer school, so that makes sense.
I wasn't busting out some earth-shattering stat right there.
Stump the Schwab info,
Correct. While we do have a moment here, some games have gone final tonight. Walker Valley defeats Cleveland 28-3. It was Oak Ridge 28, Knoxville Halls 13. Signal Mountain with a nice win, 29-0 over Chattanooga Central. St. George's, we mentioned, long trip to Collinwood, but it paid off. They win at 41-8 over the Trojans down there in southern Middle Tennessee. Covington is leading Lakeland Prep 42-14 late in that ball game. Haywood and Henry County, a slobber knocker, folks. 4:56 remaining in the fourth quarter. That is a 30-28 Haywood lead.
I bet that game's fun to watch.
Yeah, I've heard. I've never been to Henry County for a football game, but I've heard outstanding reports about just the atmosphere.
Well,
of
course, I went to school at Dixon County High School, and Dixon and Henry County are two old rivals and never necessarily liked each other, but there's a lot of respect between the two schools. And Henry County's always been a really tough program, just about any sport you play, women's basketball, men's basketball, baseball. I know Dixon and Henry County have played for the district championship in baseball the last few years. So I know a little bit about Henry County, and they do. They show out. Whenever there's a sporting event, they're ready to go. They always have good teams. They've got good coaches, and they're always well-prepared and well-coached and ready to go.
And, folks, we were running through the scoreboard update there, hoping that an injury situation would lead a quick and hopefully positive outcome. But this situation is looking a little scarier. We got an injured player still down on that far sideline for Green Hill, and so we are going to step aside for a timeout here, and this will be our final timeout. You are listening to Main Street Media's Game of the Week. Beech and Green Hill. The Hawks are leading the Bucks 38-21 late in the fourth quarter, but we got a serious injury across the way. Casey and I will return right after this here on Main Street Media Game of the Week coverage.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Welcome back, folks. Scary situation here. We got a still ongoing injury timeout. A young man for, we believe, Green Hill. The Hawks are leading 38-21. This game is effectively over. Only 34 seconds remaining, but we got a scary injury timeout. And so we are going to step aside for another break here as they tend to this young man. We'll be back in just a moment right here on Main Street Media Game of the Week coverage.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Tough situation, scary situation as the medical cart brought out for a Green Hill standout here. Late in this game, the Hawks lead at 38-21, and during an onside kick recovery attempt, we got a bad injury here, Casey Patrick.
Yeah, it's Jackson Crawford, and they did put his leg in an immobilizer. I don't want to speak on his injury. I don't know what happened, but obviously just a terrible thing to happen with 34 seconds to go in a 3-score ball game. I really hate for that to happen to anybody.
Tough situation. And, for a moment I thought they might just end the game right there, but Green Hill is going to line up. They're in a victory formation. So we'll have one kneel down to make it official.
I've never understood that shotgun snap to take a knee.
Yeah, out of the victory. Man, that is a kind of sobering moment for what was a jubilant night.
Yeah.
Everything was coming up Green Hill. About as dominant of a 38-21 final score as you will ever see. That will be your final. But obviously our thoughts and prayers and all of Green Hill's attention will now be focused on their senior safety and linebacker, Jackson Crawford, who we have called many times tonight, played very well, but he does depart late with an injury. 38-21 is your final. Best of luck and safe and speedy recovery. We're thinking and pulling for you, Jackson. That was a scary situation, and unfortunately, like I said, it does put a little bit of a damper on what was a fantastic night for these Hawks here. They were dominant from start to finish. 7-7 was really the only threat of quote-unquote danger, but it wasn't even necessarily dangerous because after it was 7-7, Green Hill forced a punt. Beech is kind of flying high, but the punt is muffed, recovered by Green Hill, and they poured it on from there on out. They led 21-7 at the break, and they win it running away here. 38-21, your final on Main Street Prep's Game of the Week coverage tonight, Casey.
Yeah, and that 38-21 final is it's closer than it really was. Green Hill really did run away. And like you said, I hate that word, but it's perfect for the end of this game. It is a sobering end of the game. It was perfect. Green Hill, if you would have asked them, they would have told you it was by the script. It was perfect for the first 47 minutes and a half, really. And then that injury there at the end to senior Jackson Crawford, really a damper on the night. But if you look at the silver linings for Green Hill, a masterful performance. Just really doing just about everything right. A lot of weapons, moving left, moving right, going forward. The defense was strong up front. They were strong in the back. Beech, they may have answered a few questions tonight, but they may have a few more as well. And they've got quite a few questions that they got to answer before week 2.
They certainly have some things to work on, but the good news is for them, it was a non-region game here tonight, and it was week 1. The season is long, and so like we said a number of times, that will not be the last time we hear certainly from Green Hill, and I promise you folks that will not be the last time we hear from Beech. But otherwise, Casey, good night for the Main Street crew. We're off and running. First week in the books. We'll be at Stewart's Creek next Thursday night as Stratford comes to town. You and I are off to our respective ball games tomorrow night, as is David Wilson, who joined us here at halftime. But couldn't really ask for a better night. I mean, if nothing else, I don't want to sound old man-like, but you just couldn't beat the weather here tonight. It just kind of was a perfect night for high school football.
Yeah, I tell people this all the time, but I've got the best job in the world. But, I mean, they pay us to do this. You know that,
it's
right?
It's like robbing a bank, man.
I know. I clocked in before I got in the car. You don't know way out here. What are we doing? That's crazy. But it's a wonderful night. It's a wonderful job. I'm blessed to be here. I had a lot of fun, Wade. I don't know if you did, but this is a really fun experience. And folks, if you ain't never been to Green Hill for a football game, y'all ought to come out here and watch a game here once or twice.
The only thing I'm a little disappointed in myself is I did not, and Scott Stewart, our equipment manager, he'll kill me for this, but I didn't get to sample any of the concession stands, so I'll save that for my next trip back to Green Hill. But again, folks, your final tonight, the Hawks win it over Beech 38-21. We will sign off, and we will see you next Thursday when Stratford travels to Stewart's Creek. For Scott Stewart, for producer Mark Rogers, for David Wilson, who joined us at halftime, and for our colleague and analyst this evening, Casey Patrick, I'm Wade Neely saying so long. Once again, Green Hill defeats Beech 38-21. Good night from Mount Juliet, Tennessee. We'll see you next time here on Main Street Media High School Football Game of the Week coverage.